No, but like I said, in the past, like 2, 3 years ago, for sure.
Hmm.
But now, I mean, if he's with just putting out what's 10-10, I'm with it too. You know what I mean? Because that's all time.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you all for tuning into the Gobcast today, and welcome back once again. You should know the drill by now. I don't know what episode we're on. I stopped counting a long time ago. But we have a very fun one today because we have a very special guest in the building. We have someone who I think has a very relatable story with addiction that also might actually be your plug's plug. We've got Be Easy in the building today. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, my bro?
Thanks for coming in,
How
bro.
are
I
you?
appreciate you. I want to say before we get further into this, the main reason I want to get you on the show, there's probably two of them.
Mm-hmm.
First off, you're a character.
Think so?
I followed you back on Twitter, and you've had my timeline very entertaining. You're a funny dude. But also, I watched your episode on First Smoke of the Day, which shout out to them. It's a cool podcast. And you talked about a story, a real story about addiction that
Yeah.
I had no idea you'd experienced.
Yeah.
Which is really why I want to get you on the show. Because, I mean, this audience is a lot of fiends. You know, there's a lot of people who probably can relate to your story that are
Right.
watching this right now.
No,
You know?
absolutely.
So, and also, I smoked that Zebras and it got me high.
Oh, yeah.
So
I like
I'm
that.
excited for
I'm
the
glad it
episode
did.
today, dude.
Hell yeah.
For those people that are watching out there that maybe aren't familiar with who you are, maybe haven't smoked your weed or haven't heard your story, what would you say to them? How would you introduce yourself?
So my name is Bobby, aka Be Easy. I own Be Easy, the company, along with my partner Tony. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I love weed.
Yeah.
Love the culture. Regardless of what people say.
Do they
I
make the
do
videos?
love the culture. I love everything about it. I'm pretty confrontational, but it is what it is. I don't look at it as confrontational. I look at it as I just say what I feel. Like if I'm gonna say whatever's on my mind. I'm a pretty open dude. There's no filter.
I mean, I think that's a good trait.
Yeah.
It's a good trait to have. Not a lot of people do that.
No,
you
not
know?
anymore. It's like I think people nowadays want to fit in. I've had success, just being me the whole way, and I think that's why my base is so strong because they relate to the authenticity of me.
Yep.
And the brand in general. And I put my face out there every day. So it's not like someone's not running my account saying this stuff. It's me saying this stuff, good, bad, negative, and different. And I think people relate to the authenticity of it.
Yep. I mean, I think one of the things about your brand that a lot of people, maybe they aren't familiar right now, but they're going to know when we bring it up. You're kind of one of the, I don't want to say founding fathers of the cereal box and kind of crazy packaging wave that's really hitting right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, people will say that about us for sure. I mean, I'll take it. We're in the right place at the right time and set some trends, by accident, on purpose, whatever the case may be. The cereal wave started and it took off, and the box wave, that you see everywhere nowadays came with it. So, people do like to say that we created it. I don't know if we created it in the sense that we were the first one, but we were the ones to make it right, mainstream and bring it to the point where you just can't do a drop it out a box nowadays. It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. When I was in New York last year, there was a corner store up the street from me, and they had one of your bags taped to the window, which I found hilarious. They just had a bunch of bags taped to the window. I went in there. I was like, you guys selling that shit? It was right after, I don't know if you heard about, you probably did. In New York last year, there was a big sweep where the cops came through and they emptied out all those corner stores and shit. They were like, no, we don't sell it. We don't sell it. They just still had the bags taped to the window and shit. I was like, oh,
like a
man.
retired jersey in the rafters.
Yeah, it's still up in the rafters.
That's so funny.
So, kind of taking it back to, growing up in Boston, what was that like?
Growing up in Boston, I mean, whatever you think a typical Boston guy is me. I'm loud. I swear. I'm a diehard Boston sports fan. Maybe a little bit obnoxious. I am a stereotypical Boston guy for sure.
Boston sports are a lot.
Yeah, and I'm that guy that you're talking about, without a doubt, especially with the Celtics. But growing up there, I believe it or not, but I had a very normal growing up. My parents are still married to this day. My dad is retired from the post office.
Damn.
He always had a second job at a restaurant in East Boston, where we're from. My mom's a waitress, middle class. my mom still a waitress now. She still works doubles. So, very middle class growing up, apartment, not a house, like, townhouses.
Yep.
I went to private school up until like the 9th grade. And then public school after
Why
that.
private school? Did your parents?
So I was like up to the 4th grade, it was public school. But, I was very talkative, loud in class. I was the person, back then they put your desk in the hallway. Go put his desk in the hallway. They really put you in the hallway. Like, they can't do that shit anymore. But, like, I was the kid whose desk was in the hallway 3 days a week because I was disruptive. Like, not in a bad way, but, like, I was just talking a lot. Like, like, I want to talk, bro. Like, I don't know if I felt like I was too smart or whatever, but I was just bored. Like, I knew what was going on. And
Yep.
maybe I realized at an early age, which I very truly believed, that I learned that these other classes are bullshit. As long as I can do 2 + 2 in math, and read or whatever, like everything else is just a waste of my time. I feel
Yep.
like, and
I agree with that.
yeah,
for sure.
it's like, so I was just bored in school, and my mom, my mom just wanted the best for me. God bless her, So I transferred over to Catholic school in the 4th or 5th grade. I don't remember. I think 4th grade. But like my grandmother paid for it. Like my mom was like, I don't want to keep. He needs more. Strict or whatever in his life. So
Shout out grandma.
yeah, so she paid for it, and then when I was going to graduate 8th grade, same thing by the way, the Catholic school. I was in the principal's office all the time. I was just I was just disruptive. Like I don't know, I always had this thing like you're not really going to tell me what to do, and so when after 8th grade, that's when that school ended. My mom just didn't want me to go down the wrong path, so she did everything. She begged the principal, can you please get him into this school? Like, please, like, we can't afford it, but can you please, he needs the help. So she got me into Malden Catholic freshman year, which was an all-boys school, like grade school, but, like, I wasn't ready for it, And then after that, I told her, like, bro, I'm going to Eastie next year. I'm going with my friends. Like, it is what it is. So I went there, and then, everything else was good. So I went back to public school in the sophomore year, and then I did, like, semester of college.
You're bouncing around schools a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, well, technically, yeah. But it was like the next city type of thing, Like my group of
okay.
friends all, like when I say I went to a different school, it was like 15 minutes. They were all within 15
You were still
minutes
kicking it
of
with the
my
same
house.
people.
Yeah, my group of friends never changed.
Nice.
Like through those years, like, later in high school, after high school and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But, which is normal. But during those early years, it was always the same group of friends. Because like I said, I lived in townhouses
Yep.
that were all rows of townhouses. So you go home and like back then, you actually went outside and played sports and shit. So we all just met there.
Kids don't
and
do
sang.
that anymore.
No, at all. I get
Stay
excited.
inside and play Fortnite.
Yeah, literally. I get excited when I see like 3 kids on a bike. Like you don't see it anymore.
It's a crazy sight.
It's a crazy sight.
Ever since I moved here, dude, I don't see kids outside here at all.
No,
Ever.
And look where you are. Like, you know what I mean? It's outdoor area, and like
Yep.
people aren't. They're not outside like that
Nobody.
anymore. It's crazy.
Yep.
It really is. And back then, like we lived outside, sports. So, like I said, we just meet up at the parking lot or whatever, and then everybody's there anyway as soon as school ends.
Yep. When did you start smoking weed?
Bro, I did not smoke weed till I graduated high school. How about that? Until I was 18 and just graduated, bro. So I like these townhouses, like I said, and it's
Yeah.
and it's like a community with a community center in there. So, sports were so big. Like I grew up playing sports, like not with the school per se. I did a middle school, but just with my friends. I was all about sports. I was the kid who thought he was going to go to the NBA, and so like the community center, you're playing wiffle ball every day after school. You're just playing sports, and they used to run this contest, the dare contest. Dare back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
And
I remember, dude. They came to my school and did a huge assembly, and like, if I remember correctly, they had someone come on and they were like pretending to like be like a drug addict, and they were
Yeah,
like, "This
it
is
was
what will happen to
crazy.
you," and it was some dude in like
And it's the
grown up
most
clothes
like
and shit.
far
It was
off
like-
obnoxious thing ever. Yeah. So so that's happening, and kind of lost my train of thought. What were you saying there?
we were talking about when you had first started smoking weed.
Yeah, so that's what it was, after 18, like, so I graduated high school, and like I said, I've grown up in townhouses, so big into sports, and they ran the DARE program there, so like they used to, and I was big into like drawing back then, even though I can't draw a straight line now. So they used to do these contests where you would draw like anti-drug stuff, like, and like
shit.
everybody in the community would draw it. Like, I was at that place, but I had my next door neighbor draw it. He was a really good artist. Like, you
Let's
know,
go.
but I would come up with the slogan. I was always good at that marketing.
You still
shit.
played a part.
Yeah, I was always good at punchline. You know, I always took marketing. I always drawn to it. But it pays off now. But yeah, so like again, that's how I grew up in that area. You know, like, I didn't smoke weed during high school. I was playing sports every single day.
Yeah.
Like until the sun went down, until school ended, till the sun went down. So that again, I just wasn't around it. None of my friends smoked weed either during the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected.
Yeah, no.
I
Then
mean-
I went off the deep rails quick, you know. But yeah, I smoked after I was 18, like literally 18 out of high school.
Do you think maybe the fact that you waited so long to try smoking maybe played a part in your longer term addiction?
I don't know. I think what's meant to be is meant to be. Like
True.
You know what I mean? I think if what was going to happen was going to happen. So I don't think like that part does it. No.
I say that because I have a lot of friends who, you know, those I know who got it out almost in their younger years, like got out of their system when they were in high school, are super normal, straight edge dudes now who are like
Right.
having kids and shit. And my friends who started doing it after high school are like still going hard
Yeah.
and fucking face down every day.
Yeah, that's
unconscious,
crazy.
you know?
Yeah, no, that's crazy for sure.
So, you know, after you had started smoking weed, do you remember your first time? Like, what was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
story
yeah,
behind
yeah. I
that?
was with all my friends. We're at my friend Ronnie's grandmother's apartment, you know, rest his soul.
Yeah.
He was my best friend back then. And so we would just smoke. Back then, it's like, you know, it's Reggie. Like, it's Mexican brick weed,
Some booth.
legitimately. Yeah.
You don't know this.
No, it's literally the brick weed with a million seeds in it. So, like, you know, in Boston, Foxwoods casinos, you know, 2-hour drive. This is before they had the Encore. So, like, they would have the buses that would pick you up in East Boston down Central Square every day, right? So his grandmother was one of them slots players. So she would get on the bus and go in the morning, come home late at night. So, right, there was like fucking 7 of us, dude. We were in the bathroom at his grandmother's house rolling joints of the smoke, you know? And we were smoking in the bathroom, whatever, and then, you know, I don't think, you know, maybe I feel like it's common, but like, I didn't think I was high the first time. You know, maybe you don't know
I don't
what.
think I got high the first
Yeah,
time.
it's like
either.
maybe you don't know what it is, so you don't realize what's happening. Like I don't know the effects, so maybe I don't realize I'm high type of vibe.
I feel like
Looking
that
back
might
on
be
it-
what it
Yeah,
is.
looking back on it now, but like I didn't think I was high. You know what I mean? And then, you know, however long passes, I end up passing out on the couch, like you know, and I passed out on the couch or the bed. I don't remember, but I know my homies took $20 out of my back pocket and they went to the Store 24 right across the street. That used to be in East Boston. It's still there. I don't know what it's called now. And you know they went and bought Mad Munchies and shit.
Oh shit! Did
Yeah.
they share any with you?
Yeah, hell
You
yeah.
know
I woke
that?
up
Oh,
to
okay.
that.
there you go.
Yeah. They were good friends for sure.
I thought they stole your 20 and just ate all the munchies. I was like,
they
damn,
brought
that's
it back.
fucked up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So after that, how quickly did you start smoking regularly? You just knew off rip, like
Yeah,
I'm
it
fucking
was like
this.
that's what we were doing. Like you know, back then, like so now you know when you go to high school, you meet new friends. So now, like I have my old friends that I grew up with, and then I have a new circle of friends too. Like, and you know, the new circle was smoking and stuff. You know, so that I got into it with them.
It's hard to stay cool with the friends who don't smoke when you start smoking.
Mm-hmm.
When I
Yeah,
was
no.
younger, I had a hard time with that.
Yeah, and then I learned that like real fucking quick that my friends smoke a lot of weed. Like I'm gonna be the dude to give it to them real quick. I learned that.
So after you started smoking, you start smoking regularly every day. Were you selling weed too, or how were you getting it? When you were
No,
younger?
that's what I'm saying. So back then we were buying it, but I learned real quick or saw real quick that my friends are smoking a lot of weed, and like I want to be the guy to sell my friends weed. And
So you knew early on that
yeah, I was always
you were
a
interested in
business
that.
person. So like in high school, they had classes you had to take. Like one would be like fucking nursing things, like medical shit. One was like fucking teacher bullshit, and the other one was business. And you know, all right, but give me the
picking
business
business, yeah.
class. And we had marketing classes, like these. You know, obviously, the quarters now that we all see that have the states on them. Back then, they didn't exist. You know, remember, I graduated in 2000, so we're talking 98, 99, 2000, whatever. You could find out when they came out. I don't remember, but there was a marketing thing that was how would you market these new quarters to the people? And me and my partner came in the top 10 in the country.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we got flown to D.C. We got the fucking all 50 quarters in a case or whatever, and we placed like I don't know, a third or something out of it. But the marketing was always there, and they would have you know, they would have like fucking in the business class. They would you could make a product and sell it. So we went a fair or pop up, whatever, in high school. And my mom's would make these fucking ties. Like she had these ties, and she would stitch Witcherium, which is like isn't really sewn, but you can iron it on. Right. I thought they were really cool. I'm like, make a bunch of ties, right? And then I'm going to sell them at the fair. And when I tell you, the fair was all the fucking people were walking through with the suits. I sold so many fucking ties that day. Sold so many fucking ties.
It was the
that day.
perfect environment.
It was the perfect environment. Like so many fucking ties. I was always good at it. I always had the eyesight for marketing and business.
That's something that I think if you're gonna, no matter what you sell, I mean, weed included, like you got to have that kind of in you. You know?
You do. You absolutely. You have to know. There's a lot of layers to it. You have to know what the consumer wants. You have to know how to get it to the consumer. You have to know how to put it in production and make it a reality, not just an idea. There's so many layers to it, and more above all, you have to be consistent. Anybody can do it once. Some people can do it twice, but can you do it over and over and over and over again? That's what separates everybody.
Were you ever the kind of dude when you were younger that would like fuck up the re-up if you smoked too much?
No.
Really?
Well, put it this way, not the weed, but the other re-ups. When I started doing drugs, when I started getting high, for sure.
So how'd you escalate from just smoking weed to getting high on other shit?
I mean, I don't remember like what made me do it the first time, you feel me? But it was like Percocet to Vicodin to Oxy, so on and so forth. Just the fucking climbing ladder, I guess, however you want to say it.
Were you like, when you were younger, were you mentally thinking like, I would never do those kind of drugs?
Ever. Why? I told you I was the most straight-edge dude in the world. Like, ever.
How did that change? I mean, I'm hearing your story. I'm trying to think like, what?
I think I got my heart broken by a girl at the time.
Oh, that'll do it, dude.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
No lie. I think I got my heart broken. That's a negative. And, yeah, bro. I don't know. I know it sounds weird to people, but it's like, you know how it is if you have been to anything, which I'm sure you have. It's like you don't mean it. Like, you feel me? Like, you take it.
You're not
take
consciously
it the first
choosing,
time.
like,
you take it the first time. You're not, like, realizing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then, one thing,
After that first time, if you like it, you're
more or less.
You're locked in.
Like, you just, like, I smoke weed all day. Like, you feel me? I just go back to back to back to back to back. And that's cool. That's whatever. I don't have to smoke tomorrow. But, that stuff is not like that. You don't realize it's happening while it's happening.
Yep. You only realize when it's too late, for sure.
100%.
Did you say you have an addictive personality?
Yes.
You answered that immediately. You didn't even think.
No, I do.
So even before you were smoking weed, were you like, did you know you had that personality? Like, would you get addicted to other stuff when you were younger? Like playing games or something? Going outside? I don't know.
No, I don't think so, but that's crazy now that you say that.
Interesting.
Nah. I mean, unless you count fucking sports, but no, I don't think so at all.
So it really came out once you started smoking?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
You were like, oh, shit.
Yeah, maybe that is. I mean, 'cause I'm trying to think off the top of my head, a lot to remember back to, but I don't ever remember being like that now that I think about it.
Yeah, I'm the same kind of way. I'm very, I mean, even since I got sober for most of this, I'm California sober, so I take shrooms and smoke weed.
Yeah.
I don't do the other bang and all that other shit.
Yeah.
But even since getting sober from everything else, I still, like, have to control myself because I have a very, like, if I go to the casino, it might get ugly in that bitch. Like,
so I used to be like that. I do have more self-control in certain things now, but yeah, it was the same thing. Like, because, like, same thing. You go to the casino, you want to play. Like, there's no walking away. Like if let's just say I come to the crap table with 5K, like there's a number I need to hit in my head to walk away.
100%.
And like if it's not double, like I'm not coming here with 5K to hit 5K. So like I'm not walking away until
I want a lot more.
Yeah,
than that.
you understand what I'm saying? So you would never win because of that, because you can't walk away. But yeah, stuff like that. Food, definitely super addictive to certain places of food.
For sure.
Yeah. But it's also good and ugly. It locks me in certain ways.
Yeah. So, how fast did your use of all these opiates escalate to addiction?
I mean, was it 3 days? Like,
Really?
You know how that goes. Like, if you start doing it, you're addicted after what, 2-3 days? 3 days, a weekend?
Did you ever make any attempts to stop throughout, or were you always just
Yeah,
kind of
well, I've been detoxed 100 times. Section 35, which is like court mandated 30 days.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's fine. That's where I learned about dope. Then what else? Yeah, I mean, bro, all those, those in and out rinse cycle fucking detoxes. Like in Massachusetts, bro, they don't really have those 30-day setups like Florida and out here. You would have to go to Florida or out here to get that. So it's all fucking health insurance coverage. There's whatever they deem is medically you're
It's
off
a
of it.
racket,
It's
dude.
like 72, maybe 96 hours. Those beds are very expensive.
Oh, I know.
They want you in and out like a fucking robbery.
Yep.
So if they think in your mind that 3 days of methadone on a weekend technically clears your system of it, you're getting out that third day. But you're not clean. You know what I mean?
Not
they
at all,
They
yeah.
put another opiate in you to substitute it, and they don't work on your methadone.
So how long of a period, like from start to finish, just so I kind of understand, was your opiate addiction?
Started using when I was 19. I got clean August 1st, 2007.
Oh, yeah, we tatted on it.
Yeah, August 1st, 2007. So, what? I'm 43 next month, so I don't fucking know. 24 years ago minus 7. You know, 7. I was like 19 years old to 2007. So, what's that? I don't even fucking know. What year is it? 18 years ago.
How many years was that? Like the length of the?
So it was about 19 to 25, 6 years.
Okay, that's a long time.
Oh yeah.
It's a long time. And
It's
it's,
ripping and running.
I mean, when you get that deep into it, shit gets ugly. I don't know.
Yeah, of course it does.
What were some of your like darkest moments throughout that addiction?
I mean, bro, it's all dark. You feel me? It's like, it's all dark, bro. You're waking up with before you even open your eyes, the first thought is how do you get high? Like, so
100%.
you're living for something else at the moment, and your whole existence at that point is to find it. It's
Yeah.
like you're on a hunt for something, and you're on a hunt for something that I never thought of it like this. You're on a hunt for something that no matter how much of it you have is not enough.
You're never gonna find.
Yeah,
it.
the hunt never
catch
stops.
it, yeah.
The hunt never stops. You can catch it 5 times a day. It
Chasing
don't
the
matter.
Dragon is the
Yeah.
most like accurate
Yeah.
portrayal of drug addiction I
Yeah.
think ever.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
on a hunt that no matter how often you catch it, it's not enough. And you're gonna need to catch it again and again and again and again.
Every day.
And,
You wake up
yeah.
and you have to catch it every day.
Yeah, every
And
day.
if you have one day where you don't catch it,
Yeah, it's a mess.
it fucks up a lot of other days.
Yeah, no, for sure. It really does, without
Yeah.
a doubt.
Yeah, I was a coke addict for a long time
Mm-hmm.
before I got sober, and I like
Yeah, we did that too.
it was rough. It
Yeah,
was
we
rough.
did
Were you,
that.
were you speedballing at all?
Yeah, sure. Smoking and
Oh,
shit.
that's
yeah.
ugly.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? Because I've never.
I mean, no, never speedballing like that. It was one or the other time. I never did them together.
Okay.
I had a bright idea one day to get doing coke. It was a brilliant idea.
How did that day play
I
out?
got off the oxy and started doing coke.
Oh,
Yeah,
no. I mean, I
fantastic.
was about to say good, but I probably shouldn't
No,
say
it's
that.
not good. No, the fuck? The fuck that shit. Like, what the fuck? That shit go quick.
And at that time period, the coke's probably far more expensive.
No, oxys was expensive. Oxys
Really?
was 120 or 80 back then.
At that time?
Yeah, 120 or
Oh
80.
my god.
130,
I was
140.
never into opiates, so they just.
Yeah.
I never really get like.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
But I mean, in relative terms, it's more expensive because you need more.
And like, how much? Like, how many 80s per day were you taking?
No, like, dog, it was bad. I was doing like 10 a day, you know.
Oh my god.
You wake up, you sniff 2, you swallow 1.
How the fuck do you like support that consistently? I mean, that's just got to be.
You beat a lot of people. You put a lot of people through torture and torment and all that shit. You know, you put people through torture, torment. You rob people. You steal from people, PayPal, all that stuff.
Yeah. And that shit catches up eventually.
I mean, I did pretty good. But yeah, I mean, if it catches up to you, like who you are. Yeah, but no, it catches up to you in many ways. No, you're right. Like,
I
you know,
think mentally it does.
no, mentally it catches up to you. It was just the wear and tear on people is the worst part, bro. Like what you do to your family is the worst part. Like
100%.
You feel me? Like what you do to your family is the worst part, obviously. What you do to your friends is whatever. Not in the sense that like if you do anything bad to them, that's bad, obviously. But like most people don't end up with friends during that time. You usually just end up by yourself. Or with
Super isolated.
Yeah, or with somebody else you're getting high with. Like you feel me? So you don't. So friends aren't really on the radar during those times. So it's just you put your family through torture. You know.
How was your family like? Did they kind of throw you out while you were addicted, or were you still living with family, or like how did they treat you?
Both, both, living with them, get thrown out, living with them, thrown out. The cycle, the cycle that is addiction. It
Yeah.
goes back and forth, back and forth.
It never
It's
ends.
literally a cycle. You know, it's a big loop.
Yeah.
Every day is a loop.
Yeah, opiate addiction is tough. Even
Yeah.
That one's a bitch,
Yeah,
especially.
no,
Well,
definitely.
most of my friends who were opiate addicts when I was younger still aren't sober to this day.
No, listen, I'm blessed to obviously have gotten out of there. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing about my city is, like, in my age group, opiates really, really, really ran through my age group where I'm from. You know, oxys, dope, all that stuff. But a lot of them made it out. God bless them. You know, a lot of it made it out. That's for sure. I mean, obviously people didn't, but a lot of people got out of it.
Yeah. So how did you get sober?
Again, trial and error over and over and over. You go to detox so many times. Eventually, you know, my big thing was I never wanted to go on methadone. Eventually, when Suboxone was first introduced, I got one of the first doctors in Massachusetts that had it. I used to have to fucking drive like 2 hours to go get it, however often. And in the beginning, you have to go like every day. So we used to drive. My mother would drive me every fucking day. So we would go there, and then eventually, you know, you get a prescription after you've shown that you're clean after however long. So the Suboxone worked in the beginning. Suboxone get you off of it, but then again, I relapsed.
Yep.
Go back to it. And then I finally one day just said, fuck it, I want to go in the methadone clinic. And I never went back really after that.
Really?
Yeah.
The
And I never-
Suboxone itself is addictive too.
Yeah, but I never did it to get high. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't know how familiar you are with methadone, but you'll go to the clinic and you'll see people nodding off there because they're on
Yeah,
so
people are there to
much
get
methadone.
high.
They're in absurd doses. I never, ever, ever went above 40 milligrams. Like, my point was to get off of this shit, you know? So
And just comparatively, how much are those people who are nodding out taking? would you say?
120, 200.
Okay.
The doses are absurd. Everybody's taking double that. Like, because they try to raise you. You know the system.
Yeah.
They try to increase your dose all the time.
They want you taking more.
Yeah,
They
and
always want you taking
right, and I told him,
Yeah.
no. But the only downfall is you gain so much fucking weight on it. Your metabolism slows down. I was like
shit.
270.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, your metabolism slows way down, but you get clean, you know, so.
As long as you're clean, I mean, you can lose the weight
100%.
later, you know?
Yeah, right.
Fuck it.
As long as you're clean,
Yeah.
which is good. Then you eventually, slowly but surely, get normalcy back in your life.
So the methadone really worked for you.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
You might be the first person I've talked to who
I'm a
said that to
methadone
me.
advocate. Look at that.
Legit, you are
Yeah.
the first guy I've ever spoken to who's like, yo, methadone worked. I have a homie who did Suboxone and methadone. He's like, dude, I was just
But he
getting high off
wanted
of
to.
those two.
But he wanted
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
He
you
was
have to
choosing
want it,
to. He
for
was
sure.
choosing to. He didn't want to get clean.
So when you finally ended up getting clean mentally at that point, even before you had gotten to the methadone clinic, you wanted it.
Yeah.
You had known.
Yeah, bro. I'm going to detox every other fucking. I'm not even lying. I would go to detox for fucking 2-3 days, 2-3 times a week. In the sense, I would go one day, come out, get high, go out, go back. I really wanted to get clean. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I really genuinely wanted to. I
It
just-
feels impossible when you're
Yeah,
still getting
I
it.
just could not beat it. But
Yeah.
I genuinely, at that point in time, I really wanted to. You know, everybody at some point, oh, I want to get clean, I want to get clean, but you really don't. Like, you know, you're just telling people what they want to hear.
You say it every day. You're
Yeah,
not going to do
but
it.
like by this point, I genuinely wanted to get clean.
Yeah, I mean, and getting clean, like, you just quit cold turkey by the sound.
No, it's the methadone.
Yeah, but I mean, did you literally the day you quit just go to the clinic and get on the Suboxone before the methadone, or like did you have a
Like
period
the first month, 2 months, I'm doing both.
Okay.
Like, you know, but at
So
some
you're kind of weaning yourself towards.
I feel like it's a month because at some point that shit builds up and you just don't get high no more. Like, you know, it's a legit blocker for opiates.
Yeah.
So
and
if-
you did that just to avoid getting dope sick mainly.
Yeah, exactly. To do it to satisfy the need, because it, you know how it fills the receptors and shit and all that medical
100%,
bullshit, you know.
yeah.
So at that point, it's just to know that, like, I won't get high today because the need is not there. Like, if you might want to, obviously in the beginning you really want to, but you don't need it, and that's what I literally needed to at least take that away.
Yeah.
I could fight the want, but the need is totally different.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you get sober, when you've truly been sober for a long time, you think about it every day.
No,
Like,
it's
for
more than
almost-
every day, bro.
Almost as long as you're sober. Not almost, just as long as you're
What,
sober.
when you're sober?
I mean, I don't know about you. I still think about opiates every day.
No,
It's been
no.
years for me. I
No,
still
I-
think about it.
No,
you know?
I don't think about it at all.
Really?
Just to me, it's just another lifetime ago.
That's good to know.
Like, I
Maybe
was
I'll
the
stop
biggest piece
eventually.
of shit walking back then. Like, you know, I was a real piece of shit. But no, to me, it's just another lifetime ago. I mean, it was fucking 18 years ago. Like, just a totally different person now. It's literally a whole lifetime ago. Like, some of my clients are 18. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah. It was just a whole lifetime ago to me.
So, how did you eventually get yourself off of the methadone?
Again, I wanted to get clean, so however long I'm on methadone, I don't know. It was a good time, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
It was a good amount of time. A couple years, definitely a couple years, 3, 4, however long. Again, I wanted to always get off the whole time, so I just told him, I started telling him, like, I want to, like, my goal is to get off in, like, there's no time, but I'm going to start my decrease in doses. So in the beginning, it's easy. So, like, I went from 40 to 35, like, for a week, and then the next week to 30. In the end, the percentages get bigger, you know what I mean? Like, cutting them in half and stuff. So I think when I got that, so I did that progressively, maybe over 6 months' time, very, very slow. Like, I was not trying to get sick at any point. And then when I got down to 5 milligrams, I just never went back.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you really just slowly weaned yourself off over time.
Yeah,
and
over time.
By the end of it, you were ready to go.
Yeah, they would be like, "Oh, you're taking too much off." I'm like, "No, I'm good. I don't need it." Like, I was living a super healthy lifestyle by this point. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm in the gym. I was big, like I told you. I'm in the gym. I'm playing basketball every day again. So I met my partner over there. Yeah, like, I'm already trying to lose the weight. I'm active, so it's like I just was ready to. Like, I knew I wasn't getting high no more at that point. I already knew it. Like, I had been clean for years. So I knew I wasn't getting high anymore, so it was like, it was just time to get off of it.
Was smoking weed a big part of your sobriety too?
Fuck yeah, it helped me get off of the methadone, helped me get off dope too many times. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an underrated like tool of getting sober. People don't talk about just smoking an ungodly amount of weed enough. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. It gets you, A, you sleep on it. B, you get your appetite comes from it.
Yep.
You feel me? It takes the edge off.
Yep.
But it definitely helps, without a doubt.
I feel like, at least for me, in my opinion, getting sober is literally just about blowing time. Like, you just have to waste time.
In the
not
beginning,
getting
for
high,
sure. In
you
the
know?
beginning, definitely.
100%.
In the beginning, you have to, because, in the beginning, you're still thinking about it all the time. It's like that. It was normal in your life to have it around you at all times. So now you're trying to get back to the old normal that didn't have that.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. It's like breaking up with a girl. You know who you were with for a long time. There's going to be a period of time after that you're still so
It's
used to.
a big adjustment period.
Yeah,
sure.
you're so used to doing everything together for a long time. And it's like, how do I find my normal way without that thing or person in my life again? Definitely an adjustment period.
So did you ever, when you finally got off that methadone, did you ever have any moments where you almost relapsed?
Not that I think of, no. Not that I think of, no.
Really?
No,
You
I
were
was
locked
good,
in.
bro. I was really good, bro. I really was. It just, at a certain point, I was never going to get high again. Like, I just knew it. I just knew it because, again, I don't know, like, the person I was before that and the person I was during that and the person I am now is just, I was never that person, and I knew it. Like, I just got into it, when they always say, "Oh, he's a good kid." Like, I really was a good kid. And I just went down the wrong choice, led to a life that, was never a choice. But I knew once I got off it, I would go back, for sure.
So then once you, what's it called? Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Lost my train of thought. When you had, fuck. Lost my train of thought, dude. Fuck. That's like the first time I think I've done that on this show, dude. Normally I'm kind of locked in. Modelo and a half will do it, dude.
know where you are.
When you had first gotten clean and kind of off the methadone, you're staying strong and you're staying sober, but obviously there's probably still a lot of like parts of your life that are fucked up and you gotta now fix.
Yeah, I mean, start with your family's fucking trust. Start with that, bro.
How do you repair that? Like, what do you
Time
do?
heals all wounds. It's just time. Like, you understand, I stole everything from my parents, probably 3 times. Like, I probably stole
They
everything.
couldn't have shit in the house.
Yeah, I probably stole everything at least 3 times. You'd get it, you'd pawn it, they'd buy it back, I'd steal it again. They'd get it back, I'd steal it again. Like, I tortured them. And,
When you're stealing shit from them, how are they reacting? Are they confronting you, or what's
yeah,
that?
of course. But they love their kid, too. Like, you know what I mean?
Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, it's not easy. Like I said, it was a bad time. Like I said, I really put them through a lot back then. But it's just time. Time heals everything. So, they're your parents at the end of the day. They love you no matter what. So, time heals all wounds. So when you're doing the right thing and they see you doing the right thing, they're witnessing it too. So just like anybody else, if you're around somebody who's making major changes, you see it firsthand too.
I mean, it sounds like your parents were super supportive through all of it.
Yeah, 100% they are.
Like it sounds like you're pretty fortunate to have that for
I
sure.
am.
A lot of addicts don't.
No, they don't.
And that makes it infinitely harder too.
No, it does. It does. No, I'm blessed. I have the best parents in the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, the divorce rates in this country are fucked too.
Yeah,
Like, your parents are still together. That's pretty nuts.
45, 46 years.
Divorce rates are fucked out
Yeah.
here, dude.
No, their 45th or 46 is coming up in May.
Damn.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do for their 50th? They're probably gonna go crazy.
Yeah, no shit. It's crazy. But you're right, though. The divorce rate is fucking up there. It's crazy.
So, how'd you get involved in the weed industry?
Like I said, I've been selling weed since I was 18.
But like, after you had gotten sober, is that when you kind of started taking it seriously, or like,
So-
were you even before that kind of?
So, I get I mean, I'm always selling weed. Like,
Yeah.
I'm always selling weed back then. And I always had the fucking best weed, too.
But there's obviously a difference between like
No.
when you're selling weed and this brand you've got going.
No,
you
right.
know?
So, like, I don't know if you know, I was on dialysis for 6 years. Like,
Oh shit.
yeah, my kidneys failed. I had a kidney transplant and everything.
Oh wow.
So I was on dialysis from 2013 to 2019, 3 days a week, 4 hours. Like, you feel me?
What do they do to you during that? Like, what is that?
Dialysis is where they clean your blood. Like, you at all. There's no cleaning of your body, not cleaning your blood. You don't pee. Like, I couldn't fill a shot glass up in 2 days.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so all your fluids stay in. So you have to go to dialysis 3 days a week for 4 hours at a time. They put big ass needles in your arm.
Oh, I hate fucking needles.
Bro, this is my official, So you put one needle here, one needle here. So first they do a surgery that connects a vein to an artery. So before,
Okay.
this is not working no more. It's just a blood clot. If God forbid I have a needle again, they'll remove the blood clot that's working,
Okay.
So before, if you put your hand on it, you would feel a river, like gushing blood.
Really?
Because they do a surgery to combine it.
Wow.
A vein and an artery. So it's like a super fucking vein. And they put big ass needle here, big ass needle here. One takes the blood out, one cleans it.
You
and
show
puts
that
the blood.
that
Yeah.
camera right there.
Yeah. So one cleans the blood, one cleans the blood out, takes it in, puts it out, and cleans it.
Wow.
And you do it for 4 hours a day. So what happens is, like I said, you don't pee, so there's no fluid coming out of you. You cannot drink. And theoretically, you can drink this in 2 days. So imagine, you're not living it, that much, you're existing. So all the food stuff, you go to dialysis, I get there 5:30, they get you on the machine, start the machine 6 a.m. And then you're on till, by the end I was on till like 9:45. So 3:45 to 4 hours, depending on how much fluid you have.
Oh my God.
And they weigh it in kilos. So you would go Monday, they would drain you, you come back Wednesday, you would gain 4 kilos. 4 kilos is 8.8 pounds of fluid. They have to take that off of you in 4 hours.
That's a fuckload.
3 days a week. So you're yellow, you're green looking. You would go there till 10 a.m., get off the machine, get out of there 10:15. I would go home, sleep till 5 p.m., and then I would start weed after that. But, when you're, like I said, I was on a chair for fucking 6 years, 3 days a week, 4 hours at a time. And you have a lot of thinking to do. And I was selling weed during all that time.
Yeah.
So, at the time you see in New York, there was a player doing branding and stuff. And, in Boston, I'm buying all the runs, all the cookies and shit. So I see the branding really taking place, and I'm just paying attention to it. And again, thinking all that time gave me motivation. Like, if I ever get off this shit, when you're on something for 6 years, they always tell you you're going to get a kidney. But at a certain point, it's just words. Like, a year passes, 2 passes, 3, 4, 5. It's just it's coming. But you don't
start losing hope as the years
No,
go by?
it's not that you lose hope. Maybe you lose hope. I mean, you definitely lose hope at points, of course. Like, you're dying, literally. And without this machine 3 days a week, you'd be dead real quick. So, yeah, I mean, you lose hope for sure. But it also comes to a point where that, just like anything else, that becomes the new normal. My normal life is going to dialysis 3 days a week And this is what's normal to me. It's like, eventually, allegedly, a kidney's supposed to come, but at some point, you just stop thinking about it. It's been 3-4 years. Like,
Where's it at?
Yeah, if it comes, it comes. It's not like you think about it every day in the beginning. You're all gung ho, but you know, 6 years later, and again, and it happens just randomly, bro. I'm home on a Saturday night or whatever the fuck night it was. I get a phone call. Can you be at the hospital?
Really?
And it happens just like that. Like
So the
in
kidney
movie.
actually came.
Yeah, you know, the kidney came.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I got a kidney transplant in April 7th. Wow, that just passed. Actually, I didn't think of that. April 7th, 2019. Wow, I did not think of that. That's crazy. So
Congrats on the anniversary.
yeah, coming up on 6
Fuck
years.
yeah,
that's
that's
crazy. So yeah, so I got the kidney April 7th, 2019, and then like 30 days later, I started Beezy.
When you got that call, how'd you feel?
I mean, you don't believe it at first. Like, you know, it's crazy. It's a pretty crazy feeling. Like,
It's gotta be, dude.
Like, you can't really describe it. Funny thing is, I was waiting. I'm a smoker, bro. This is a true story I ever told. Like, I'm waiting for my plug at the time to bring me a 7 of the 3 newest Canatique jaw drops. Blueberry Cruffin.
Canatique used to be so fire,
Bro, the
dude.
Blueberry Cruffin, the Crown
The
Jewels.
Cruffin was so good.
So good.
dude.
The Cruffin, the Crown Jewels, and probably the Runts. They called me. He's on the way. And it was like, oh, you got to be here in an hour. But, like, I live 35 minutes away. And I told him, and my mom really was working, but, like, if I called her, she would have left immediately. I was like, oh, my mom's working. I won't have a car till, like, another 2 hours, because that's when he told me he'd be there. He'd be there, like, an hour and a half, and I wanted to smoke it. So I waited for him to come first, and then I called him back. Said, okay, I get the car now. I can come in. But,
Wow.
Yeah.
You had to get that Canatique
I really did. I
first.
had to smoke it, bro. I was looking. I was waiting all fucking day for for those fucking jars, bro. Dead ass. I was waiting all fucking day for those jars.
That's crazy.
It's a true
you waited
story,
6
though.
years for the kidney, but that 12 hours for the Canatique
That fucking
was worse.
Canatique was getting smoked before. I promise you that, bro. I promise you that.
I get it, dude. The Cruffin was fire.
Yeah.
The Blueberry Cruffin was insane. That
Yeah.
shit was really good. I feel like that's not even like a thing anymore, is it?
No.
Blueberry Cruffin.
No.
I haven't seen Canatique on a shelf in a while.
No. No, me neither. And then, like, the kidney transplant was crazy, bro. It was crazy. You know, you go in, and it happens quick. You know, because they've already done all the testing and shit. They know all that stuff. They have the
They're
donor.
ready for you at that point.
Like, they're ready for you. I don't know this. I don't know all the details. I'm sure by now I could find out the details, but, you know, you do sign something in the beginning, but, like, you have to wait a year or something. But I know my kidney donor was a girl who allegedly passed away in a jail cell.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
from, I think, maybe overdose or something, but her kidney was in, like, really, really good shape.
They tell you who your donor is?
I could find out now. Like I said, you sign something. I think you have to wait like a year, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. There's a little bit of a wait, whatever it is. But it obviously passed by now. Yeah. But yeah, that's what happened to her. You know, thank her. God bless her.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely.
she's the goat, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. But so that's how that happened. But yeah, the whole transplant thing, it's crazy, bro, because it happens quick. You know, like one day you're on dialysis, then you're never on it again. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, after you get the transplant, what's the recovery process for that?
Oh, bro, listen, I'm a tourist. I'm a stubborn, hard-headed dude, bro.
Okay.
I can't stress to you enough how hard-headed I am. I hate hospitals. Like, I was always the person, like, even when I was in addiction, I'm signing the NDA 100 out of 100 times. Not the NDA, the one where you can leave early.
Yes.
You know
yes,
what
you
I'm
signed
talking-
yourself out.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
I
form's
forget
called,
the
but-
term, but I am signing it 100 out of 100 times. It's
Yep.
no doubt about it. The MDA, against medical advice, AMA.
Yes, yes.
I'm signing it every fucking time, okay?
Yep.
And it just is what it is, bro. And I hate the hospitals, and I would do it all the time leading up to the kidney thing, and then, bro, when I did it when I got my kidney transplant,
Really?
too, like way too early, and no, they can't stop you. Like if you sign it, it's you. Like I think
It's
I
your
did.
American right to leave
Bro,
that hospital.
I think I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing they don't take away from you. I think they in I think I did it in 5 days or 4 days, bro, to the point, like, and I knew, right, when I was getting up, I was weak and I couldn't really walk. Like, I knew it, but I was
my God.
stubborn. True story, but I don't think I ever told this on a podcast before. And I went downstairs in the sidewalk, bro, and, like, I just had to lay down on the sidewalk with all my stuff. I couldn't get up. I couldn't move, and I had to like call my mom to come get me. Like there was nobody there because like where the Uber was picking me up was a weird part of Boston Medical Center. Because if you know the area, it's just in the middle of downtown. And it's like I came out a random entrance and like there was nobody there, and like bro, I was just laying on the sidewalk. Like what the fuck did I do? I went up and signed myself back in.
Oh my god!
I had to call an ambulance to come find me. That's what it was.
Really?
Yeah.
And you probably had to pay for that ambulance.
Yeah, and it was like it took like probably 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes felt like an hour because I'm just laying in the middle of downtown Boston. On the
You're
sidewalk.
sitting there completely out of energy, just
Done. I
cooked.
couldn't move. Like I was
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
And how long are you supposed to stay in the hospital to recover from that?
I mean, say maybe a week or two, 10 days. So that was like 3-4 days. But it was quick. It was so
Yes,
stupid.
you weren't even close.
It was so stupid. And then they could never get my blood pressure right after. So, like, I was always weak. Like, I couldn't stand up for, like, 30. It took, like, what should have been a 2-week recovery ended up being, like, 30 days because they couldn't figure out my blood pressure situation.
That's got to be scary.
Well, yeah, because they were prescribing me blood pressure medication when my blood pressure was already so low. And I knew it. And I was like, bro, what, you guys got to stop doing that. And then they finally fucking listened to me and it started to adjust. But it took a while to get my blood pressure, like, back up to normal. Like a good 30 days.
Wow, I can't even imagine just the mental state that I'd be in going through that, you know?
That's why I
6
laugh it
years
off.
of sitting there and probably having a really hard time maintaining hope.
Yeah, that's
you
why I
know?
laugh at all these people on Twitter and all these social platforms that actually think what they say means to me. Like they would have gave up a long time. They would have gave up off the heroin. They definitely 1,000,000% would have gave up off the dialysis.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you know, sometimes it sounds cliche or corny, but I know what I'm destined for. I wasn't put through those things for nothing.
Yep.
So I know ain't nothing stopping my pain anytime soon.
Experiences like that definitely teach you.
Yeah.
You know, you learn a lot from
It's
going
also
through
why I
something
don't give a
like
fuck.
Yep.
Let's make that crystal clear. It's also why I don't give a fuck. Like,
that. Nothing will amount to that.
yeah, like I think John Gotti said it best. Like you only lie when you're afraid. Like I'm not. What am I afraid of? Like I'm not afraid. Like I already been through some pretty bad shit. Like you feel me? I'm not afraid of that. That's why I speak my mind. It's just how it is.
I mean, I fuck with it.
Yeah.
I fuck with it. I think it's real.
Yep.
I like that.
That's what I do.
So, before you got in the call, I'm just curious, because obviously 6 years of having those kidney issues, stuff had probably progressed a lot through those 6 years. How bad was it, like, towards the end?
No, I mean, you know, yes, yeah, okay,
I'm
yeah.
not, like, medically
No,
familiar with it.
you're right. Look, bro, you're on. You are living off of a machine for 6 years. Your body, that is brutal wear and tear. Like
100%.
you are going, you're taking off 8.8 pounds of fluid 3 days a week. That they
Completely brutal, yeah.
brutal. I still have the scars
What's
6
the
years
point of
later.
playing like that?
Like
Come
you
on,
feel
bro.
me? Like you know, your heart takes toll. All of that stuff. Like there was times like I went in for a heart what do you call those things when they do it? Like a CKG or whatever. The fuck
That sounds right.
where they
yeah.
do the visual and shit. Like there were times like they thought I was gonna have to get a heart transplant and shit too because that shit just wears and down on you.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
terrifying.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, but yeah, bro, brutal wear and tear on your body. Like I would, whoever my worst enemy is, I couldn't even think of them, but I wouldn't wish that on them. Like real talk.
So after you get this new, transplant, you're living a new life, basically.
Bro,
Completely new life.
immediately.
Just
Well,
off
30
rip.
days later,
Yeah.
once they fix that shit, yeah.
Of course,
30
yeah. After your recovery, you've literally
Rock.
got the life back,
No,
basically.
I ain't
Like,
I made it easy within 35 days of getting out of it.
so that's when the brand really,
Yeah.
you say, got
By
rolling.
early May of, so that's coming up on 6 years. So early May of 19.
Where'd the name Be Easy come from?
It's a saying in Boston. So like when everybody, it's a departing saying. Like when you instead of saying see you later, goodbye, but you'll be easy, be easy, be easy.
Oh.
So eventually, I just made it Be Easy Buds, and then as we got bigger and more legal, I dropped the buds.
Just brand Be Easy.
Be Easy,
I
yeah.
think that's cleaner.
I do
like
too.
that.
I like
Yeah.
it way better.
It gives you more flexibility because then you can do stuff like rosin too.
You could wear this and you don't even know what it is. It's
That's-
not,
yeah,
It don't. You
subtle.
See, but if it says buds, you know it's a cannabis.
Then it's
brand.
over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way more versatility. It's just Be Easy.
I think that's a mistake a lot of brands make nowadays. They like overly market the weed part,
Yeah.
and
Instead
the
of the
weed's not as
branding.
cool anymore because it's legal now.
Yeah.
Everyone smokes it. Like my grandma's taking edibles.
You know, and it's also the difference, but it's also the difference between a real brand and just someone doing it to pay the bills.
100%.
You
Yeah.
know, we're definitely a real brand, and you know, we brand everything appropriately and try to market it appropriately.
So what are some of the things that you did to get the ball rolling when you started your brand?
What did I do to get the ball rolling? You know what? I think I listen to people.
Okay.
My finger, whatever you say, is always on the pulse. But I always listened to the consumers and vendors. So, being from Boston, the Northeast, mainly New York, was the biggest target. I mean, the biggest market demographic, right?
When you started your brand, were you still in Boston?
Yeah, we were big in
Okay.
Boston. We were huge in Boston. That was the base of it. I came out to here, we didn't know anybody except for Doja. And we were working with them. Like, we were working with them
Shout
in
out
Boston.
Doja.
And it
Yeah.
came over here working with them. But, like, you know, back then, yeah, I mean, Be Easy was big in Boston. We were working on it. And then we come out here. But I always related, my biggest advantage forever, and it's not as big anymore, but it helped what separate the difference right now between us and other brands. And, you know, no disrespect, is that
Yep.
we came over here and already knowing the end customer and everything about them, because I was one. Told you, I just waited fucking 2 hours for Canatique instead of getting
Yeah.
my kidney. Like, I was that person.
You know what you're
Boston, New York, yeah, we don't like each other sports-wise, but we are the same people. Like, you know, we're loud, blah, same exact Northeast raising. And no disrespect to any brands out here prior, they weren't connecting with them or couldn't. They were connecting with them on just a broad level. They were the brands available. Whereas when I came in with the personality, talking the way I talk and being brash and I'll call anybody out, I related to them on a whole nother level. From ideas to coloring to the way I carried myself.
Yep.
And it brought us really quick. Like, we're not a COVID product. Like, you feel me? Like, we came after COVID. You know, yeah. No, I guess that's not true. We came in. Well, I moved out here a few months after COVID. Be Easy really got popping in like August of that year, so July. So maybe it is toward the end of COVID. You know,
Okay.
but like, we were out here, bro. But we weren't a California brand then. Like, we were just here sending everything back to Boston. But we could, bro, just hard work, quality, and listening to the consumer. I remember the first person that came out here to buy a Be Easy product was Baltimore. And it was the Terps and Caicos strain that we still drop. Bright, colorful bag that everybody fucking loved. And the pack was 1010. He met us. He met me. He bought it. Vacuum sealed. Never even saw the flower. He just knew it was good. And he went home. He added me. That was the first time I ever seen my Instagram just go with a bunch of follows.
Yeah.
I felt like half of fucking the DMV area was following me. It was
Just
crazy.
that first big break, bro.
Yeah.
You're cooking.
It was crazy. And then he didn't come back. And I'm like, bro, what happened? Because he told me, bro, everybody loves it. It's so fire. They loved it. So I'm like, bro, what happened? I got more of it ready. This was like a couple weeks later. He's like, you have anything? He's like, bro, that was super fire, but you have anything else? Like, anything new? They don't want the same shit. And I'm new. I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, bro, that's really good, but they just want new bags every time. And I said, oh, they want new bags? And all right, cool. I'm going to listen to you. And then that's when it started. I just started bag. And just giving everybody what they want.
So even early on, you kind of had the packaging standing out.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a believer in, I'm a real big believer in, like, don't fight the wave, ride it. And,
Yeah.
like, everybody knows I don't really smoke candy. I smoke zebras. I smoke all this other stuff. But I sell candy without a doubt. And why? Because that's what the mass market wants. And this is just a business at the end of the day.
Is candy what you started off selling too?
Nope, I was anti-candy. I used to talk so much shit about candy on my Snapchat in Boston.
I don't like smoking candy.
I'm not a fan of it. It gets me too high. But
Yeah.
but if this is what the people want and this is going to make the brand the most successful, this is what we're going to do. You know what I mean? I'm not here to fight people. I'm here to give them what they want. But I'm also going to give you the best version of it. So, yeah, that's what I'm here to do.
So one of the things that I think is interesting that a lot of people don't know about the industry in general is your brand. You source. You don't actually grow.
Right. Me personally, correct.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you guys go and you find like, the best stuff that you want.
So right now we work exclusively with our grower elusive.
Okay.
But I don't grow. But this
Yeah.
is new. This is a new thing, you know, in the last
Yeah, it's not how it
in
always-
the last right in the last
Yeah.
say 2025. Like, you understand what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
still source a lot of packs for other drops, you know, but like the zebras and a lot of other stuff come from him and only him. Like we have seeds popping, genetics, and all stuff in house with him. So we at this point, I would say 95% exclusive with him.
Pretty close to single source.
Yeah, but prior and still now randomly, you know, we would source pack. Prior, everything was sourced without a doubt. Yeah,
Yep.
we white label everything up until, like I said, say 2025. Starting to deal with elusive more.
I think a lot of people don't understand how common that is.
Yeah, and I never understood the offense to it in the sense that, like, somebody grew the weed, bro. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like, everybody is so dumb. I don't know, I think that's just the easiest way to say it. Like, everybody's just dumb. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's like, bro, somebody grew the weed. Did you ever think that grower only wants to grow? He doesn't want to brand. He does not want to distribute. He only wants to grow. Maybe that's why their weed is so good, because they're not trying to do 5 things at once. And, like, you know, I'm a believer in specialists. You find the best grower.
Yep.
I found elusive. We are, in my opinion, the best at branding and marketing. So we already have that. So we come together. And same thing with getting the best genetics and seeds from people. And eventually 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of growers that aren't good at selling the weed. You know, they're not good at
They're not
marketing.
even that good at growing the weed, most of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's true. There's a lot of mid out there.
Yeah. So it's like I just, you know, if there are growers that can do it all, and God bless them, you know, but just like everybody else, they're far and few in between. That's why they're the elite of the elite. But what is it? 1% of the population. What do we do with the rest of the 99.1% of flower? So do you want these facilities to close?
Someone's got to smoke it.
Yeah, do you want these facilities to close? These facilities were built for people to source their packs for, like, you know, and to put them on the rec market or whatever with it.
Yep.
That's literally why they exist.
So early on, what were some of the like big drops that you did that you would say like really put you on the map?
Terps and Caicos was our first drop.
That was, you mentioned that.
That was the
Any other-
first drop like that we did literally in California. In everything is, I wouldn't, even with hindsight being 2020, I would not change one single thing about that drop.
That was just perfect.
It was the best flower at the time that you could get. The packaging, the bag, that was when it was just a sticker Mylar bag. It was the best packaging by far at the time. And to me, like I said, even however many, I would not change a single thing about that drop.
That's the perfect drop.
Yeah, and then duck sauce was a big drop.
Nice.
That one, and then obviously the cap and runch with the boxes. The boxes changed every single
I
thing.
saw
in
that
the
on
world.
Twitter.
But,
A
you know,
lot.
we had multiple, but you know, I would like to think like the biggest waves in the last 4 or 5 years, but we've been part of at least most of them. Or we played a major role in them.
Yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of the stuff that I've seen, you know, you guys post when I kind of looked into your brand when I was getting ready for this episode and stuff, definitely seen knocked off by other brands pretty
Yeah, yeah.
regularly.
You definitely
know?
have. No, you definitely have. So many people have copied us, and you know, imitation is what is that bullshit thing?
Imitation's flattery.
Trash con.
It's
Trash.
a serious
quote.
form of flattery or
Such
something
bullshit.
like that. Yeah.
It's what it really is.
So you
is-
don't take it that way.
Look, I don't care anymore. Okay, now I don't care anymore because of what you just said. You just said, as I was just starting to look into your brand, one of the first things you noticed. So, like, there was a time when maybe I had more of an ego and I wasn't confident enough that it really bothered me. But now it's just like what you said. Everybody sees it and knows it. Like, you know how many DMs I get from somebody will send me, oh, they're copying. I just like it. You know, I don't. It happens both so much. My brand, myself, is used for clout all the time. More, if not more than any brand, as much as any brand there is, whether it's Twitter, beef, Instagram beef, people saying we buy packs off these brokers when I don't even know who they are.
Yep.
You know, people like to use the brand, and I get it, but so, you know, stuff comes with that too.
It's kind of impossible to like protect your IP in this industry.
No, it is. Like, you know, yeah, everything is trademarked on our end, but
Yeah.
you know, but again, it's
But
like,
also, you guys are doing products that are not all of them, but often that are parodies of like existing stuff.
no, 100%,
That
exactly.
you can't protect.
No, right,
you know?
exactly. That you can't protect. You know, we are trying to move away with that with more original stuff. But like that stuff,
Yep.
you can't. But the whole game is that right now. I personally would like to see this. Like, I'm cool with all the boxes and bags. I would like to see more original characters, more original creativity. Get away from all the IP copying and bullshit, which I'm obviously one of the biggest influences of. I get
sure.
it. But I think it's time to progress forward. Everything's got to progress.
So you're trying to set the new tone now,
I'm trying to do some cool shit.
and you think that's where the market's headed in general?
I don't know. I think that's where we're heading, though, for sure.
Okay.
I think people, put it this way, when we do it, they usually follow suit. So I think whatever we start doing soon, people will really follow suit quick. That's usually how it goes.
And you guys, I mean, to this day, are still doing a ton of candy. Like that's
Yeah, you know, we have a big drop that's candy, and then we have all this other stuff that's non-candy, too.
Yep.
We're definitely providing much wider range of strains now than, like, again, as up to the end of 2024. 25 has been a lot different.
What do you think's gonna be like the next candy? Like, what's the next era coming up?
So, I don't know the answer to that. Like, candy right now is still mainstream, so it's not going anywhere in the sense that all these facilities, it's all they grow. So that's their money making. Until that stops being their money maker, you know how that's just business, right?
Everyone likes to talk shit about lemon cherry gelato, but it sells more than any other fucking
Right,
strain
it
on
makes
earth,
everybody
dude.
money.
Yeah.
It's just the easiest sell. You know, everything else you have to wait to sell. You know, that's the only thing that's selling right away. So until that happens, nothing else. But there are moments in between where individual strains, can catch fire, like zebras. Like I'll give them plugs, like Toad Venom, like Blue Zushi.
Yep.
That almost bigger than the brand itself. Like, you know, there are a lot of people that know zebras, maybe don't know bees. There's a lot of people
For
that
sure.
know Blue Zushi, but maybe don't know his Tenkos, you know.
Everyone knows Blue Zushi. I
Right.
don't think probably 8 out of 10 smokers don't know who Tenko is.
Right,
but
right.
They
You
know
understand?
Blue Zushi.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like there are moments in between, like a wave that a certain individual strain that can just catch fire and outshine all of that too.
Yep.
Which we're trying to do with zebras.
So what's cracking with the zebras? I mean, I smoked some of that before the show. What do we got?
I mean, I just think it's the best. You know, I don't make no secrets about it. Zebras is a straight Skittles cut. It's fire. I think it's the best one out there. It's all I smoke. I mean, I only smoke Skittles anyway. Like, there was times where you could ask me what's in my blunt for a long time, and the answer was Blue Zushi, nothing else. Like, I pretty much only smoke Skittles 95% of the time. And today, at this current day and time, it's better than everything else out there, in my opinion. But
Why
again,
is that, you say? Like, what's so special about the Skittles?
the terps, there's a fucking taste on it, bro. The taste is so good, and it gets better and better and better and better every time. Like, this batch in the jar is 3 weeks after dry, and like, oh, it's fucking better than it was last week, and next week it'll be better than it was today.
Yeah.
And like, the last 25% of the fucking blunt is so good. I don't know. It's just, again, like I always say this: whatever I'm looking for from weed taste, that gives me. Skittles gives me, and it's always done it. From the first time I smoked it, it's always satisfied me. So I don't know. I just love it.
It's kind of interesting because I feel like in this type of setting, like everyone loves Skittles. Like probably everyone in this room right now loves smoking Z and any form of Z. But I don't think your average smoker knows shit about it.
No, so the average smoker, unfortunately, it's very hard to. I don't even know how to say it correctly. So, the thing about Skittles is, right, the majority of it sucks, and that's the sad.
For
way of it.
sure.
So, the average consumer, unfortunately, has most likely only experienced bad Skittles. Like, you know, you can get. Whatever, but we'll just say, no, you can get $1,000 lemon cherry that will have flavor and at least smoke white. Like, it's not going to be good. It's not brandable. It's probably PG out, but it will smoke. Like, you know, like
You'll get that resin ring.
You can't do
Yeah.
that with Skittles. Like, bro, there is a certain point of Skittles where like the price matters, and like the more you buy it for, just the better it is. At least from all the time I've ever been around them. And so I think most brands, you know, it's a business. So you go into the rec store, you know, there has to be a bottom line profit, right? And maybe putting the best version of it into it isn't the best, you know, their goal. Whereas this is small batch, as you know, like a small batch community is 1% or less, and
For sure.
that small portion is willing to pay the high price for the best stuff. But the average consumer is not getting good Z, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Z is a tough one because it's usually ugly as fuck.
Ugly, right.
So it has to be super on point.
Yeah.
And smoke great because the average consumer is going to look at it versus a bag of lemon cherry and be like,
They're not even
why
picking
would
it
I
up.
pick that shit?
They're not even going to pick
Looks
it up.
like mid, you know?
100%.
But I feel like some of the best smoking shit nowadays doesn't look good.
Yo, I'm team green. Like I like green weed.
Me too.
I smoke
Me
purple
too.
weed, of course. But like,
Yep.
if you, like you said, like I'm the opposite of that. If you put them down, I'm gonna go to the green one because maybe it's because I'm older and like back in the day, everything fire was fucking green. So maybe that's just how I grew up. I don't know. I never thought of it, but I've always been attracted to green weed. I think a lot of purple weed right now is fake purple. It's like stressed out.
100%,
They turn it
yeah.
cold and they stress. There's obviously weed that's supposed to be purple. When you get that, that's great. But a lot of the stuff is just very stressed out. That's why you see the white pods in it. And, you know, so for that, I've always been kind of turned off by it in recent years.
And like the average smoker doesn't understand that at all. They just see
No.
purple shit and they're like, this is fire.
Right. It's just like the packaging. It's the same theory as the packaging. It's why we created the boxes. The boxes created to be at a pop-up table with 6 options. What are you going to grab first?
Yep.
And it's the same thing with that. You're going to grab the purple weed. Then you put 100 people in line. Maybe 5 people buy the green, but that's why it's in that percentage. And the other 95, 98% are going with the, you know, following the trend.
Yeah, they're smoking what everyone else is smoking.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
And that's why
So-
the higher price point.
Kind of on the flip side of when I'd asked about your best drops, do you have any drops you did that you'd say you fucked up or were a fumble?
Yeah, of course. I mean, not per se like quality of flower wise. Like maybe the drop.
Even if so, it's all right. I mean, everyone fucks up, you know?
No, like I mean, look, there's obviously stuff to the better, but like I know that like put it this way, like one thing I always say is you could say whatever you want about my weed as long as you paid for it. Like I get DM'd all the time. This shit sucks. But like, did you smoke it? No. But like, if I say, did you smoke it? Like, yeah, bro, this batch sucked. No problem, brother. Like, I appreciate the feedback. But you're a consumer, like, you
Yeah,
know.
that's valid.
The people talking shit who never smoke it is what annoys me. But like, you know, I know at the end of the day, like every pack is QC'd and it passed our QC. So I can't say that I ever regret putting a flower in it because it passed my QC personally.
Yeah.
Whether the people don't like it or not, again, it's all opinion based. But like, there's been a lot of packaging wise that has been a disaster. Like they're just way too fucking big. There's just way too many moving fucking pieces. I didn't even bring one, but this Operation game that we just dropped.
I saw you post that.
Like it's an amazing drop, but like logistically, it's a fucking nightmare.
I can't imagine. I mean,
It's a nightmare.
I didn't even think about it till now. I bet the tariffs are probably fucking you up, huh?
Yeah, the fuck? The Operation drop. We still have one stuck at the ports. We had to reprint it and order it express, like air, because the boats, we never got it. That's why the drop got put. But we literally have a whole drop worth of it at the ports, 100%.
They're probably sitting there playing Operation with
Yeah,
your
no
shit right
fucking
now,
shit.
dude.
They're playing over there. But no, you're right on the money, though, with that. Like, that shit's real, 100%. I think every person in this industry would agree
Oh, it's
with
hitting everybody, dude.
Yeah.
It's hitting me. It's hitting all my friends
Yeah.
that I have. Yeah, it's
that.
hitting
100%
everybody.
real.
It's bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's fucked up.
It slowed everything down. Like, even if, you know, there's some stuff you just can't put into production anymore because the tariffs are so high, but even if you do put it into production, it just slows down the delivery and the production time drastically. It's tough right now.
So, kind of moving forward with your brand and in the future, how do you think you're going to continue to like innovate with all the tariffs and all the issues and kind of changing market? Like, what's your ball plan?
So, without revealing too much,
Okay.
I
Keep it low
am-
key.
Right? I am, like you said at the very beginning, I am a character in this industry, right? People have an opinion, feelings about me, good, bad, indifferent. You know, I get angry all the time. I think it's the fucking funniest thing in the world, by the way. I laugh at myself all the time. So that being said, expect a lot of like that type of stuff from me where Maybe I had a full body scan done recently, so maybe some action figure stuff, some real
shit.
collectibles. Like you'll see a lot of like making fun of me as a figure, but maybe you'll see a real action figure collectible type of stuff because I am a character who draws attention. And if you want to make fun of the vein in my head, so I have this is a true story, but people have seen this, that's why I'll say it. I have a silicone of my head coming out, and you're going to be able to twist the top open, and the inside of it's a jar, and it's going to be my fucking head, and the big vein spells be easy. And cause bro, I laugh too. It's funny to me,
That's heat.
Yeah, and so I'll make it, and you want to draw on it. I don't care. It's cool. I laugh at myself more than anything. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go the whole Eminem 8 Mile. He got on stage with Finale and said everything about him that they were gonna say about him, and they couldn't say anything. Just make fun of myself. I think you're gonna see a lot of cool stuff like that.
I mean, when you embrace it, I think people can't really make fun of you.
Bro, people are fucking funny.
Yeah,
people
for
are
sure.
really funny.
People are on your ass in particular on Twitter too.
Yeah, bro.
Why is that? Do you think?
Shots never come from above, Shots always come from below, and all that bullshit, bro. There's multiple reasons. I'll give you a few reasons right now. Number one, I respond, and a lot of people.
You do.
A lot of people. I'm not trying to big myself up, but a lot of people, whatever you want to say, size, platform in the industry, position in the industry, would not respond. That's not what I'm here for.
No, that's facts though.
Yeah.
You're responding to. I see you respond to random people. Pretty often,
bro. But even in the good side, I answer every DM. 99% of DM. Now I'm a little bit busier than I was, but there was a time, up until maybe 6 months, I answered every fucking, even if I was just liking it. I always say, DM me. Now it's I see every DM. I may not answer every DM, but I literally see them at least. But yeah, bro, I'm interacting. I don't believe interaction is bad. First of all, good, bad, or whatever, right? We all know this. There's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
100%.
I am very aware of things. There is a news cycle. You know a news cycle, right? What is it? 24 hours, 48 hours. No matter how bad it is, it will end within 48 hours, right?
Especially on the internet, dude. Everyone forgets.
No matter how good it is, in theory, in reverse, it will always end in about 48 hours, right? Unless you keep it going, you have to do that. On its own, everything is short here. Nothing's going to last forever as far as the good, the bad. I'm talking reaction-wise on social media. I don't give a fuck what these people say to me. Because, when I go to New York City, for example, in New York, the lines are down the block, and anybody who was there will tell you I shook every person's hand. First thing I do when I get into this event, I walk the entire line, no matter how long the line is, and I shake every person's hand in the line, and I say thank you to every single person. When they come back up to get their product, again, I shake their hand again and say thank you. And that's the difference. Online, people see something and run with it, and you know how it goes. It's all that pile-up bullshit. I had a kid today reposted the picture of the commercial I was shooting yesterday with all the packaging saying, imagine reposting that much spray. And all that shows to me is that, imagine real politics, by the way, in real life. Not that we have to get in that, but that person just seen a post online, assumed it was real, and has run with it. Because anybody who's ever smoked Be Easy from the time it started to now knows there's never been a spray drop in any package ever. So, but it shows you the power of just typing something on the internet and people taking it as real, no matter what. So, yeah, it's all bullshit, but I don't care because in reality, in real life, I know who I am.
How do you feel about the spray pack?
Listen to me. I say this all the time. I don't give a fuck what anybody smokes. If you are an adult and you choose to dig into your pocket and take $50 out and buy Be Easy, thank you. If you think you want to go buy spray, depths, mids, I don't give a fuck. That is your money as an adult, right? Go spend it. Who are we to judge you, bro?
For sure.
This is just business. People don't like to say this. I've never had a spray pack and Be Easy, never will. I don't sell spray. I don't personally endorse it. I would never smoke it. However, it makes people money. Coca-Cola. They just fucking allegedly, even though we know it's not all true, banned fucking artificial dyes.
I don't think that shit's actually gonna happen.
Of course, it will never happen. But you know what I'm saying? It's all bullshit, bro. If If an adult wants to take their money and smoke it, go for it. What is the fucking difference if you smoke fucking outdoors or they're both fucking mids? Like, I'm offended that you're smoking mids either way.
I think spray is worse though, because who knows what those flavoring agents really do to you when you smoke them.
Right, of course, right, no doubt.
Yeah.
But look at us talking about that. I'm a heroin addict. You're a you know what I mean? It's
For
like,
sure, yeah.
It's like people are gonna do what
Yeah.
they want to do. Like I used to shoot heroin in my neck. That was bad for me. You think I didn't know that was bad for me at the time? Like, you know? But guess what? The feeling outweighed. You know how it goes with this. It's like these people want to fucking taste red velvet, marshmallow, cinnamon toast crunch. Like, what can we do fucking about it? I'll never do it. Like, I want to make that crystal clear. Like, I don't think anybody should do it. But if you choose to do it, like, who's going to stop you?
You ever smoked it?
The bubblegum cookie shit that was running. You know what I'm talking
that
about?
was like the OG spray.
Yeah,
like
so-
the first ever spray.
Before
yeah.
we even knew spray existed.
Uh-huh.
That was the first time and only time
I've heard stories of that.
Yeah, so this is when I first moved out here, my first apartment out here. So within the first 6 months out here, my homie Milk come through. I just ate him out, my bad Milk. And he's like, bro, he's calling me on the phone. This is when I was selling NorCal Nemo, like, you know. And before everybody could
How
get
much was
it.
that costing back then?
The most I ever paid was 19.2 for a pound.
Fucking shit.
So, by the way, but you make
Not 100, by
No,
the way.
yeah,
for you
K.
guys at home.
And it flies though, it flies. But yeah. So Milk, you know, he's a real smoker. He's my homie. We still talk to this day. He was here last week. He's like, bro, I got this stuff right now. It was the best smell and best taste I've ever had in my life. It smells and tastes like bubble gum. It's better than the fucking Nemo shit, bro. I swear to God. The bag, right? The
Yep.
actual bag. It looks like the Bazooka Joe bubblegum bag.
Yep.
He's like, bro, check this out. He gives it to me. I know it's not right. Like, I know, but I've never heard of spray, never smelled spray. I didn't know it was a real thing. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, this isn't right. Like, there's no way weed is supposed to smell like this. Because if you put a blindfold on me and you said, smell this, I wouldn't have known it was weed. I would have just thought you had a big handful of bubble gum. Like, there was no weed smell. I'm like, bro, this ain't right. He's like, no, it's real. I'm like, no. He's like, he rolls it up. Half ounce is about an ounce. And I was already committed to the half ounce. He's like, I got it, bro, just throw me the money for it. He rolls it up. He lights it. He takes the first however many hits. He passes it to me. I took 1 hit, 2 hits, whatever. And I just knew. And I gave it back. I was like, nah, bro, this is not normal. And I ended up, I hate to say it, but I sent the fucking half to my sister.
Oh,
Like,
no.
Yeah, my bad, Rachel. I didn't
Oh,
know it was
no.
spray. I didn't know what it was back then. I didn't know what the fuck. But yeah, bro, like, that was the, you know, I just knew off the rip, like, this is not real. There's no way.
That was like the first ever spray pack,
Yeah,
effectively.
and, like, nobody even knew it was spray.
How do you think they did it? Because I don't think the
Back then?
method they use now is around.
Yeah,
at
no, I mean,
that time,
fuck,
yeah.
who knows? You hear, I mean, you're Cali fucking ranting and raving about it.
yeah.
So, I mean, who knows, bro? Because, like, that was literally ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
That was, like, before all of it. Like you said, excuse me, that was
They
before.
might have been using some sort of like terp bag, like they just had it.
Had to
some
be
sorta-
something,
I don't
bro.
know.
Who the fuck knows? 'Cause, like, I moved out here in February of, or I don't know, April of 2020. The end of April 2020. So we're coming up in 5 years. So you're talking that was 4.5 years. That was way ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, like, sprays everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's completely everywhere.
It's coming down though, believe it or not. But it is there. It's not like the peak a year ago. The peak was wild.
Yeah. I mean,
People's
now I
wild.
think social media's played a big part in that. Like,
I
you
agree.
see those posts, if people post spray now, they're all getting flamed.
That and I do look, and no offense to the homie, because I do know the guy personally, the Flavor Farms guy. You know, I do know. No offense to him, because he is a really good guy in real life, regardless of what you think of that. You know, I think revealing the machine was a mistake. You know, I think because it had that myth that, like, is it really sprayed? Is it not sprayed? Like, I think it's sprayed, but until I know it's sprayed, yeah, I'm not gonna believe
When did
it.
he reveal the machine?
On his, whenever he made an Instagram. He was very adamant about it, though. Like, he was, like, actively, like, he would do clips and, like, reveal the whole process. Like, you know, he was like, this is what you do. We take the product, we put it in this, blah, blah, blah. Put it in the fucking bake oven, whatever you want to call it, and how it works. He was going out of his way to explain the process. And I think for people that were like on the fence. Like if I knew for sure it was sprayed, I wouldn't smoke it. That gave them a reason to stop. Like you know, so because again, there was that real myth around it for a little bit. Like yeah, people say it is, but is it really? Like people used to say it about Be-Easy weed. Like no,
Yep.
it's just that fire, bro. Right?
Now
that-
everyone knows that spray's real. They know how it's done.
yeah, and so I think I don't know if the allure of it's the right word, the myth, but it lost a little bit that and a major part of it was social media in
Yeah.
the I mean, it was in the social media attack campaign blitz to stop it. It was real, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
that definitely played, big
I
brands coming
definitely
out
made a
against
couple
it.
videos about spray. Yeah.
Big brands coming out against you know, you had the Dozers, the Backpack Boys, all those brands post about it. That weighs, that means a lot to consumers too. So yeah, definitely. I think the social media campaign, or if you want to call it that, played a big factor in it too.
Yeah. I think one of the main issues with it is just the lack of disclosure. You know, I think brands that spray and don't make it clear is where it becomes fucked up. You know?
Right, and it's like, because it's easy to say that, like, it's easy to say that, oh, how don't you know it's fucking sprayed? Like I told you, I smelled, I knew right away, but I'm also in LA at the time, or Boston, because it's the same thing. You're smoking in Boston or New York like you're smoking in
Yeah.
LA. Like, there's no difference.
You're an educated consumer either
Right.
way.
So I've seen so much high end, low, whatever, and everything in between. I know what's real and what's fake, but not everybody has that. Like if you're in the Midwest or the South, where like
Yeah.
not everything's accessible, and I always like I didn't watch the Spray Pack documentary. I don't know if I'm on it. I don't know if he edited me out.
I haven't watched it yet
because we
either.
had our beef. But like I said it in it. It's like I said it in it that there was also going to be a certain demographic that was the first thing they smoked and only thing they smoked. Like that's what they consider normal. Like imagine you're an 18-year-old kid or whatever, 21 plus, like you know what I mean? In New York or the East Coast or wherever the fuck, and you see a bag of pick a sprayed brand, and it's your first time smoking. That's all you think is normal now.
Yeah.
Now you think now. Let's just say you picked out that bag from that particular brand and you love it, right? Now you're going to go back to that brand over and over because that's what you know, or a brand's packaging that looks similar because they all had that white bag sticker, you know? And it's going to get to the point where that's all they're smoking is normal, that to them this is not normal and this is fake. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
normal to them is the spray shit. Like, there's a portion of those people that exist for sure.
Yeah, there's a large set of people that just only want to smoke spray now.
100%.
It's crazy. I mean, when I was in New York last summer, I was like,
Oh, you were there for the peak.
yeah, I spent last summer. I was there for like a week, a little over a week.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just going to corner stores and like
Everything
spray
was
packs
spray.
at every store, dude. I had some dude came and he thought I was gonna post the shit. He came and dropped me off like a half ounce. He's like, yeah, you're gonna love it. Like it's fire. Some like Oreo cookies, fucking campfire
Cheesecake, yeah.
cookies, like New York cheesecake, like just some bull fucking shit. Some of the most disgusting shit I've ever smoked. Like I was
Yeah.
coughing up like almost debris for like 3 days straight after I smoked
No,
it.
no, it's a mess. I mean, my buddy over there behind us, you know, he had never seen it before. And, you know, your clients come to the office and this is what they sell. This is what they have on them. So, like, yo, B, check this stuff out. And, like, I always just would get a kick out of it. And he had never seen it. And, like, and he just started tearing them open, like, so he could smell them, bro. And he was just appalled. It's appalling. Like,
It's
you know.
honestly hilarious. Like they have these shit AI bags almost every time with just the worst designs on them. It smells so unappealing to anyone who really smokes and like
No, for
knows
sure.
what they're consuming. I hope it dies soon.
No,
I hope that trend goes away.
it's like, and the thing about it though is like, I don't know, like I don't believe in anything dying because it's always going to have a base and stuff. Because look how many people smoke flavored pens or flavored vapes, and like there will be people always chasing that artificial terp, regardless. Like you
Yeah,
know,
flavored distillate pens are the best-selling pens in the dispo
you know,
every
and
time.
it's like, and they know it's fucking essentially poison, but they're doing it anyway because, yeah, I want to get high, bro. But you're telling me this shit will taste like a Oreo, like you said, Oreo chocolate fucking cheesecake, and like, yeah, bro, they just, some people just don't give a fuck. They just don't care.
Most consumers don't give a fuck.
No,
I
they
think
don't.
people on social media, I think, like to argue a lot and bicker about who's got the best shit. but like nobody really gives a fuck outside of the 1%.
And to say this, bro, like I because I do have homies that have spray cans or whatever. Like they're not using mids. They're using fucking fire.
Interest.
Like I want to make this clear. They're using fire.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like
I'm picturing they're using trash.
absolutely not.
Like they're taking whatever they can get off the
Abso-fucking-lutely
shelf and spraying.
No. That is absolutely not. 'Cause they're using the best flour they could possibly find.
Why is that?
Because you still got to get high. Like you still have to check that box.
But I mean, the machine can treat it for moisture. You can treat it for microbials.
I didn't know that.
You can. I did a whole like deep dive video on the machine they use
Really?
for it. Yeah.
No, that
so
part, like I didn't know that.
you can take moldy.
Yeah,
weed.
but is that shit? Really?
Yeah, you can take moldy weed.
Yeah,
and
but
clean it.
but what I'm saying is like if they use like for example they use a 1010 LCG, like it's still gonna have that 1010 high. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't.
Yeah.
But with you're saying that the
If you have like, let's say you have a
the
pound.
machine can theoretically fix that. You're saying?
If you have a molded like bag or whatever, you can run it through the machine and it'll clean it. Like there'll be no mold left.
Fucking wild.
It's nuts. And not only that, it can treat it on the same cycle with
Why doesn't
turps.
every grower in the world have that? Then aside from the terp pod, just to clear, because a lot of growers get, God forbid, they get
Yeah.
mold PM.
I
like,
mean, yeah,
just
mold-
even like clean facilities. I'm saying, like, wonder why they don't all have that, just to, not lose.
I think a
runs.
lot do and probably don't talk about it because it's frowned upon.
I'm not even saying the terp side. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like clean mold. Yeah, I've never heard that before. That's pretty.
I mean, from what I understand, the machine costs around $100,000.
yeah, that makes sense.
And like I'd imagine for a grow that's like moving a decent amount of weed, that's a good investment.
Yeah,
Like
this
even
is-
if you're not spraying it, it's
I'm
like,
with you.
well,
Yeah,
but,
actually, I've
you
never
know,
heard of that. I'm with you.
it's a
Like,
fail safe.
Yeah, no,
If it
100%.
gets fucked up.
Agreed. The first I've ever learned that.
But I think it also, on the flip side of that, as a consumer, I would be pissed off if I got a pound. Like, let's say I buy an eighth. If I found out later down the line that it had gone through that machine, I would be pissed, I think.
You mean just the regular way, just cleaning it?
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah, no, of
not even
course.
sprayed. I would
Yeah,
be pissed off.
100%.
For
I
sure.
would be. Because, I would be too. At the end of the day, but I think everybody just deserves clean, good weed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, by the way, and I mean that at any fucking price point. Like, because you know how it is. But you go to these dispensaries, their number one seller is $100 eighth.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it can still be fucking clean though at $100, like which they are, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
I'm a real smoker, bro. Like I said, I really love the game and the culture. I'm not with the bullshit. I think no matter what price point you can afford, at least make it clean, good weed. Like at that price
100%.
point, like take care of yourself.
Yeah, a lot of people don't care.
No, they don't.
of
And
people
I don't
don't
know
care.
why. I don't know. Is it lack of education? It could be lack of availability, lack of education. It's a whole bunch of things. Who the fuck knows? It's a bunch of things.
I think the cheapest ounce that I've seen is I saw there's a hemp brand. This is the real bottom of like not caring what you smoke. There's a fucking hemp brand I saw that does $9 ounces of shake,
Jesus Christ.
and they spray it like they terp it.
Oh,
so
they-
they
so
take
the
they
whole
take
nine.
it's not even really shake, it's trim.
Yeah.
And they just terp it, and like
People,
fucking-
somebody will buy it.
a lot of people buy
Yeah.
it, dude. They had a whole stand at Champs last year,
No, I believe it.
so they're doing good, and there was a big stand.
It's crazy.
But yeah, your average consumer just doesn't care.
No,
Not
they
at
don't.
all.
I don't think they know better. But maybe, like you said, they just don't care. It's crazy, though. It's crazy. I try to educate people.
What do you like? Do you post like educational
I go
stuff?
IG live every day. Right now, I'm kind of shadow banned, but like I'm an open book. Like I can't do anything, but I like one-on-one with the camera, and like
Yep.
you have them in there, ask a question, answer it, and just I like to do the monologue, I guess, 'cause I feel like I'm just FaceTiming people, and I just try to educate people, like whether it's from business side, like you try to teach people. People don't like it, or people think you're wrong. Like even on Twitter, bro. Like I ain't got to tell me I'm right. I know I'm right when I'm posting it. I don't need somebody to tell me I'm fucking right. I don't need people to agree with me. I would not have posted it if I didn't know I was right.
What if you're wrong though?
I know I'm not, but I'm not
Every
like,
time?
I usually won't post it if I'm wrong. Like I do my background search.
But what if you're wrong about being wrong?
I
Like
could be
about
wrong.
being right.
No, I definitely could be. Look.
I'm just throwing it out.
Can I be wrong? But listen, even when I'm wrong, I'm right. Because eventually I end up right. That's how I feel. I think I'm right even when I'm wrong, and they just don't know it yet. You just don't even know I'm right now.
Okay, it'll come around.
Yeah, it'll come around to you. I promise.
So another thing that you've been talking about online a lot lately is events, and in particular,
Yeah.
you brought up the integrity of a lot of the like kind of weed award shows.
No, one
talk
show in
about lately.
particular. One, not all of them. One.
I don't know if I necessarily want to like get
No.
into the specifics of
No,
that
I don't
one
either.
show.
Right.
'Cause
Just
I
in
respect
general.
them, but in general, do you think that a lot of the
Flush day?
weed award events have issues with
Yes,
judging?
absolutely. And looking, here's one thing about my therapist tells me this all the time. I'm very black and white. And I'm just a realist. There is this thing called human fucking nature. Okay, you don't tell me it doesn't exist. If I run an event and this event or this winner can benefit me, don't tell me that doesn't exist. That is what happens in every industry, in every part of the world, every fucking day, many times a day.
Yep.
We can't be fucking part of that. That our industry, run by a bunch of trappers and people like that, we're that are on the fucking up and up, or you guys just that naive that you believe that? Because I'm not. And again, one thing about me that I am proud of is I don't need to play the politic game with Steve or Joe or Larry to be friends. Like, my brand, our brand, is big on its own. If I will say what I want to say, like, I look at myself, like, bro, I look at myself as a voice for certain people.
Yep.
That don't want to say it, but I know they're thinking it. Like, and I'm just going to say what I want to say. Because at the end of the day, even though I'm Be Easy, I am still Bobby the consumer at the end of the day. And that part of me will always voice his opinion. And I do not think it's wrong, again, when I'm saying anybody else, general comment, please. I don't think it is wrong to tell somebody their flower is mids. I just don't. I think more people need to hear it. I think more people need to understand that their flower is mids and really accept it, because it's just how I feel, bro. I smoke more weed than people. I smoke way different weed than people.
You did come right at the winner of the recent event. Tell him his shit is mint.
Listen, okay? No, because I don't want to get specifics. I'm
Of
trying.
course, yeah,
I'm trying-
yeah. Just
but,
without
you
naming
know,
names, of course.
like,
We can still
you know,
talk about it.
Great person, amazing for the culture. I support it in everything. But
100%.
I smoked your flower. This is not personal, bro. And this goes to, like, I think that particular event was wildly flawed in so many ways that I have to make a fucking list to list out how flawed I think that event was. I think it was flawed. Wildly flawed. And by flawed, I mean rigged.
Do you think there's? I mean, I've been to multiple events where the judges' kits are just for sale. You know, like you can purchase them. Do you think there's kind of more of a widespread issue with judging in a lot of these
think-
events like that?
We can just talk general flaws, okay? We're not going to be specific on anybody. General flaws are smoking a ridiculous amount of entries is in an absurdly limited amount of time.
Yeah.
So if I have to smoke over, pick a number, I'm a judge, right? I'm a judge. So I am judging on X, Y, and Z. In order to judge something effectively, my palate needs to be cleared, right? I need to have a palate that can officially judge these properly, because whether people realize it or not, if you're going to post a list of the winners, you are posting people's brands next to it and growers who work their ass off of that. Now, you posted those ratings. Did you give every one of those entries a fair judgment to post those ratings? Now, alleged numbers. If you allegedly have to go through 80 entries in allegedly 48 hours, how is that possible? Your palate
Well, that's
can't
not enough
handle
time
that.
to smoke.
Your palate can't handle that. So
Can't even tell what the high's like.
right. So when you're listing all these big brands and their product that is wildly received at an extremely high level on the street and the rec market and every fucking platform that exists, they are a gold standard to the industry, and they're either A, not making the cutoff, or you're giving them 3s and 4s out of 10s. That is a reflection on you and your system. That is not a reflection on the brands. These brands are globally stamped as having great product. And now you're saying they're 3s, 4s, and 5s out of 10s? That is not true. That is because you force judges Like imagine smoking because you have 48 hours. You don't really have 48 hours. You have to sleep, you have to eat, you have to shit, you have to live your day. How many hours of those days are really to smoke? Let's just say you're a superhero and you smoke for 14 hours that day, right? 14 hours, 2 days in a row. That's 28 hours. You would have to smoke at least 3 joints an hour to get to 80 joints, right? After the fucking first hour, you have no more tongue, no more taste buds, no more palate. Everything's tasting the same. That whole contest should be thrown out. And that's the end of the deal. Like, you cannot like what I'm saying because maybe the winner took it personal, but this is a real fact. Everything I just said cannot be calculated. This is data that they have provided. 80 entrants in 48 hours, impossible to judge. So, you know, when you give the winner of the biggest contest in the industry, the event that was held out here a couple months ago, the winner of the gassiest strain comes in second to last place with a 4. That is not a reflection of that brand and strain. That is a reflection on your judging, rushing 80 fucking entrants through it. And it is not fair to those brands, myself included. I did not submit whatever that contest, hash and product, to have it clearly judged. I submitted that to have it judged under a certain thing that I thought was taking place. Like, you know, like one competition that I will say publicly, like you can look at Proper Doings. They do it, and they say it all the time. If I'm doing a contest, I can't smoke more than 2 joints a day because my pound's ruined. And they always say, I do not smoke until the competition. That is my first smoke of the day.
Yep.
So if I submit something to Proper Doings and it's going up against somebody, that's their first smoke of the day, and it's the only 2 joints they're smoking on camera that day judging.
Okay.
Like, that's how a product should be judged. You can't judge this.
But then, just to play devil's advocate, could you argue that whoever gets the first smoke has the upper hand there, no matter what?
Well, they're smoking them head to head.
But one of those joints, one of those strains is getting smoked first, no matter what. So one of those is getting dove into, right, with like a sober palate, correct?
No,
and
because
one of those getting smoked
well,
after?
they have 2 judges, so one's light and one's light and other. So they both have.
so
clean
neither of
palates.
them judge both. They
They
each judge
pass
one.
it. They say you light one, I light one. They go by rounds. So
Okay.
and then I'm gonna pass it to you, and then we're gonna do our note, so on and so forth. And but like, you can't give it like okay. Maybe my gripe is this. And by the way, I stand on everything I said about the winner being rigged. I will not back down on that. Okay, but here's maybe my gripe. Like, why are you posting that list of winners all the way down to the top 25? Okay, if you want to post just the winners, post the top 3. Because once you post the top 25, you are now revealing the strains and the brands they were attached to. Now I can visually look at the biggest winner on the West Coast contest coming in second to last place. Why is there such a wide range in judging there? Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, once you post that list, you now open yourself to all the interpretation and all the fucking whatever anybody wants to second guess.
Do you think just maybe potentially it's a regional thing since the event
No, they had
the
the California focus.
Oh.
They had
Was it the whole panel or most of the panel?
it was a wide panel. It was both. But very, very, very Proper Doings was one of the judges.
Weed's a super regional thing, you know. I mean, what we like to smoke out
And that's
here,
another thing about
totally
that
not what
event.
the East Coast likes to smoke.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, okay? And that was another fucking part of the event that really, really pissed me off. You know, it's just time.
If you're currently a worker in Australia
Testing, because, you know, it's a 4 or 5. All right, so me, I'm looking for the nose, right?
$5 hash holes in the
You know, I got a wife,
beer bag.
shadow
YouTube
band.
shit.
And it took what? I think I did. Had my first 1 million followers in maybe like 3 months
That's
after the
crazy.
year edits because it was just the perfect storm for the algorithm. But I've stopped doing that. I don't even, like I said, I work out 3 times a month now, and I've detached. That's my core is fitness, but I'm not so into being like, it's not super healthy to be 230 for my build at least. So yeah, I'm a skinnier guy, but it's not good for your heart to pump blood. But your heart can't, especially like you go from 170 to 250, 230, whatever. Then in 6 months, your heart doesn't grow like that.
You put on 80 pounds in 6 months?
It was closer to maybe 9 months.
That's still crazy though. That's
There's a lot of steroids he's taking. Like nobody, you couldn't do that otherwise. Like a ton of, like I took as many steroids as like Chris Bumstead, the
Oh my gosh.
best bodybuilders in the world. And that's why I got a lot of hate too, because I would tell people exactly what steroids I was doing. And they'd be like, dude, you know you're taking as much as open body, like these guys are 300 pounds jacked. And it's like, yeah, sounds like fun though. So that's how I was able to make such a crazy progress.
Did you feel any burnout or side effects from that?
Externally, no. Internally, like if you look at my blood work at the time, it was like blood pressure through the roof, liver not functioning how it's supposed to, kidneys out.
Well, you were
1/5.
drinking too, though, right?
Drinking and doing a lot of drugs. Like the hard drugs is the biggest problem when you're taking so many pills. Your kidneys can't process your thick blood, your heart going a million miles an hour from stimulants. Like that was horrible for my life. I'm trying. Well, I am. I don't even take steroids anymore. I'm fully moved away from that journey because I thought I was invincible. And then I don't know if you saw, but I overdosed. Had to go to the hospital, and then I thought I was gonna die. So
Shit.
that was when I like woke
Off
up.
steroids?
No, at the time it was I took 1.5 grams of Adderall, and I was doing cocaine and Xanax that night. And then there
Jeez.
was, and somewhere in that mix, there was meth in my
Oh my
blood work.
God.
So I wasn't doing meth on purpose, but somewhere it was just all too much. And so I thought I was gonna die that night, and that's when I realized I wasn't invincible. And so now I've since like
Toned it back.
toned it back 90%.
Well, the formula worked. You're still viral. It reminds me of Steve because he came on the scene just pounding alcohol, and everyone
Yeah.
was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like everyone was hating on him. You're
Yeah.
gonna kill yourself, and now he's just viral still.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people loved it because it's like, whoa, that's awesome. He's funny, he's entertaining, and a lot of people hated it. Most viral man on the internet for years.
Yeah.
So like, even though people seem like idiots, there's a lot of method behind the madness of going viral. A lot of people think about it more than you think. That's why a lot of people think it's luck.
Yeah.
Oh, he's viral, this and that. A lot of people are really conscious of exactly what they're doing.
It's not luck to maintain it. I think some people like Hawk Tuah Girl can get lucky initially, but if you want to
Yeah.
maintain it, there's some skill there.
Well, I talk about the Hawk Tuah Girl a lot because a lot of people get jealous of her, but you shouldn't be looking at what others have because you never know. If you're successful on borrowed effort, you haven't prepared yourself for you haven't gone through the trials to be ready for like the real fame, the real whatever success. Like I thought I was the shit when I made 900K as 18. That was borrowed effort. That was luck. I didn't put in the sweat equity to deserve what I had, and the universe took it away from me because I wasn't deserving of it. So Hawk Tuah, everyone for 2 months thinks she's the coolest ever. Not the coolest necessarily, but why does she have that and I don't? She didn't deserve that. She just said spit on a thing, whatever. And then 3 months later, she does a cryptocurrency scam. I highly doubt it was her fault. I don't think she knew what
She
the
didn't even
fuck
know what
was
crypto
going
was.
on. Yeah, I think the people just took advantage of her. That's exactly the problem. She didn't have the proper management because she was too fast. She wasn't ready. She wasn't educated on what was going on. And then the universe took it down. And now everyone thought she was the luckiest. And now nobody would ever trade their life for Hawk Tuah's. So I tell people, if your life is shitty now, that's amazing because your trials are preparing you for the success that you will see. If you're showing up every day, even though your life is shitty, you're still, you know where you're headed. And when you are successful, it will be real success. It won't be Hawk Tuah success.
Agreed. Yeah, that overnight success is dangerous, man.
And it's shitty because she didn't ask for it. Like a lot of people hate on
I'm
her. I
actually
feel
so
bad for her because she
sorry.
didn't ask for it. She was viral and now she's got
I
this
didn't
huge
actually
storm
do
shit. So
that.
I'm rooting for
Fuck.
her, and she just went through a ton of bullshit, and that's a trial preparing her for her success. So one day she's going to be back with real success,
No.
whether people like it or not, and I'm excited to see what she does with it.
Agreed.
Oh my God,
Has the
I'm sorry,
success
sorry.
ever gotten to your head recently? Like,
They
you just
just
went
lazy
crazy from it?
around.
No, sometimes I come off like mildly egotistical. I try not to, but the thing is, I always was very confident in where I was going and what I'm doing. I just couldn't speak on it because, like I was talking about earlier, I can make anyone go viral. A lot of people are gonna see that and make fuck this kid, he's just
Too
ego
confident.
huge, whatever. But I always felt that way, especially because I knew the work I was putting in, and I knew that it
Very
can't be that
confident.
hard. I'm putting in the work. It has to work.
I
It's
need
gonna
someone's
work.
help.
But I didn't speak on it because the proof of
One
concept
lowest
wasn't there.
32
Like, how am I gonna go on the internet? I'm gonna be so fucking famous. I got 20,000 followers. But now that I have the attention that I had manifested for myself, it feels like I'm more willing to talk about it openly.
Yeah. And now with the Clippers these days, you can make anyone go viral if you got the right
Oh my
team.
god, dude! I saw a guy on your podcast, probably an unpleasant amount of time talking about how to put meat and honey on his fucking arm, and I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. But I saw that video 90 times. I don't. Was he
Gavin,
famous
yeah.
before
No,
that?
no.
Wasn't famous. He just did more video views than I did last month, and he's not famous at all just because the Clippers, they go insane.
They go hard, man.
And that's that. It's kind of Andrew Tate really put that on the map.
When he came on, I told him
I
that.
copied his method, and now every fitness influencer DMs my Clippers like, "Hey, will you clip for me? Clip for me? Clip for me?" Like, it's the method. Well, I mean, I put out today. I did 90 posts.
Damn.
And I just woke up. It's so much more for your effort, and I come on this podcast, we'll probably do like whatever, 50
make a
million
lot of clips,
views to 50, 100 million views, and it just took a few hours. It's great.
Crazy, right? Yeah, I'm gonna probably run 50 million views to this. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we got the Discord going. We got 800 Clippers in there, dude. It's nuts.
Oh, you have 800 Clippers.
800.
Oh, dude, I just got 20 Indians. I'll take over the world. I swear. I got 20 Indians.
Oh, so you have a different method. So I pay mine per million views.
Yeah, so my Clippers, I don't even want to put the world in this game too hard. Because it's like almost, I'm so proud of it that
You're probably spending way less than me then.
I treat them like business partners because that's what they are to me, and they're very important to my brand. So I pay them much more than the average Clipper. But the method that a lot of people just try and find generic Clippers because they don't really know exactly, like, just whatever. Anyone want to clip for me? I DM a bunch of random clipping accounts. But what I decided to do is I want fans to clip for me. I want kids that are people that are super, they're going to enjoy clipping for me. They're already loyal to me. And if somebody's clipping as a job, it's like harder work for them. But if they're clipping for fun and they already love my shit, they just watching my content and they have a similar sense of humor as me. So I found 20 people that already were like really big fans of what I'm doing and my content. And then I reached out to them and was like, oh, like, we can do this clipping thing. And it kind of was a learning curve of I have to, you know, because some of them didn't have the original skill set. So that's the battle you're going against.
Right.
Is
It's a
instead
longer
of you're
term
getting
investment.
skilled clippers if you go whatever the route of hiring already professionals. But I mean, one kid I had, he was a fan. He had 80 followers. Since hiring him, he's done, I think, 600 million views. So it doesn't, like, you can learn. And now these people, we're a team rather than me being their boss. So it's a much more fluid clipping experience.
That's cool. Yeah. These days when you're streaming, you almost need a clipping team to make it.
Oh, 100%. Especially with the streams, because even when I'm going through my video, like if I'm trying to find clips and edit, I can't watch myself gamble for 20 hours. I'll sit there for 4 hours straight and not say a word. I'm just like clicking Plinko balls. So it's just, you need clippers.
So you used to do your own edits, huh?
Yeah, I used to do everything. Oh, until the Clippers, I would do 100% of my content myself. But it's just so much harder to get I don't even post clips on my account because it's just anymore. I used to, but it's, so like I said, 90 posts today. Whereas if I was doing it on my own, every time I post, it probably takes like 3 hours to make it because I'm not the most like experienced. I'm like weirdly picky about how it gets edited. So that was, and I still edit all my movies myself, which takes like the last one took 200 hours to edit, so, which I should fix. But
Dude, your videos are long. I was gonna say you might have the longest videos on YouTube for like a big creator.
yeah, I just like it because it's different.
Yeah, they're like 2 hours on average, right?
Yeah, the last one was 6 hours, so I had to split it up. And
Holy
like Road to 10 Million was I think like 200 hours of raw footage, and then I had to chop it down and ended up being like 6 hours. So.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, I just like, I think it's cool having like a more of like a movie instead of a short. It's easier to get the full picture and the full story in one movie rather than tiny episodes of my life.
You also build a tighter bond with your audience.
That's what I'm thinking. Dude, if people will watch me for 2 hours straight, they're a fan. Like, they're genuinely like me, whereas it's a lot easier to get like TikTok people aren't even real in my opinion. You could have 10 million followers on TikTok and not be able to sell 1,000 units.
You won't get
whatever
recognized
product.
on the
like,
street with 10 million.
Yeah,
TikTok.
not at all. It's very TikTok people are not real at all. Whereas YouTube, I get recognized all like a ton because these people are like genuine fans, a fan enough where they'll come, they'll make a purchase, or they'll come up and say hi to me. So that's the biggest thing. Like a lot of people ask about going viral. You need to put out. A lot of people are afraid of talking on the camera. You have to talk. You have to put out content that's you. A lot of people try and be the next Togi, try and be the next Andrew Tate. So they say content like that. You'll never be better at Andrew Tate than Andrew Tate. You'll never be better at Togi than Togi. And no one will be better at you than you. So the best way to make money is be 100% authentic to yourself. Talk to the camera. Don't worry about what anyone has to think. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to get the last laugh. I tell a lot of people that I'm giving advice to, like, how do you get over being so self-conscious? I see like all my high school friends are gonna make fun of me, all my college friends think I'm a fucking dork for trying to be famous or whatever. They laugh now, but they never get the last laugh. Everyone used to make fun of me, and now everybody is texting me wanting something from me. All my old friends in the frat, I used to get a ton of shit from it. I was like the laughing stock of the fraternity, but now I'm laughing driving home in my Lamborghini, and they want a job for me, right?
I love it. So you were a big frat bro, huh?
Yeah, I was in a frat. I did the whole. I was the most regular frat dude ever, and I still am. Like at heart, I'm a frat bro. I love that shit. I love the fraternity culture. I think it's so much fun. You create such a great bond with the people. So I'm actually going back out there right after this in about a few days. I'm going to my old frat. And we're gonna party.
You gonna film it like Nick Mancini does with his frat parties?
Nah, that's his game. I don't like
Copying people.
Not necessarily copying people, but I just don't enjoy filming and when I'm partying and out. Sometimes I do it because it's good content, but like it's kind of the only time I get a breath of fresh air because there's cameras in my face so much that one of my best friends is graduating this weekend. It's like, how about we just don't bring the cameras and we have
You're filming all friggin' day.
24/7. It's well, not 24/7, but it's I'm filming more often than I'm not filming.
It's okay.
It's really nice to be able to just like get shit faced without having to feel like I'm working still.
Yeah. Where's your favorite spot out here to
Oh, I don't go out here. I just gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm partying, I'm in either LA or Bozeman or Boulder, where I have my college friends.
LA just got voted the worst nightlife in
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not very good out there. I prefer everyone the dream is like, oh, I want to go to Miami and go to live and drop 15 on a table. That shit sucks. Going to a frat party or like a house party or a regular like local bar, I have so much more fun. You can have conversations with people and you get to fuck around. Whereas if you're at an expensive club, it's just like music's really loud and everyone's dancing and the lights are really dark. You can't really talk to people. And then you just like the most exciting part is getting the bottle. Like sometimes it's a cool experience, but it's not genuine fun.
I'm with you. I prefer house party over club all day.
Because I like talking to people. I don't want to dance. I want to talk. So I guess that's where we differ from other people. A lot of people like just not saying anything. Just like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're trying to dance and get laid or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just trying to have a conversation, man.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks. Well, what's next for you out here, man? Are you gambling tonight?
Yeah, tonight. Do you know who TJR Trades is?
I do.
I didn't make him lose money, but we gambled for the first time. He's never gambled before, really, in a casino. We lost some money, so we're gonna try and win it back tonight, and then tomorrow night, Gambling Steve will do it, and then hopefully, I would like to make just if I make 100,000, this trip would be great. So I just need to net 300,000 over the next 2 nights, and then I'm out of here.
Do you prefer the in-person gambling or the online?
We should buy, yes.
Online is more fun, more stimulating, but only if you're with friends. Like, because sometimes I'll be on stream and I'm alone, hour 18 of gambling, and it's very depressing. Like, that's some of the most depressing things you can do is spinning wanted buys on day 3 of a bender by yourself in your room. That sucks. When you're with friends, it's a very exciting experience. So that's online is the best.
Yeah, that's rare.
The slots are better odds online because the competition's a lot tighter and they don't have as much overhead. So you just use one provider and the RTP is like up to 97.5%. Whereas in Vegas, I don't know the exact RTP, but I guarantee
it's nowhere close to that.
Nowhere close.
Not even.
Yeah.
It's probably like 93.
Yeah, which to people that don't gamble, 93% RTP is like you're losing every time. It's horrible.
Damn, 97.5 on slots. That's
like
insane.
the best of the best. Our average would be like 97.
Yeah.
And it goes down. Lowest I've ever seen is 96.
Have you ever made money on slots in person?
Last time I was here, I actually made 30K on Puff and Lil Puff.
No way.
But that was on some, like, that doesn't normally happen.
There's some like autistic people that figured out like what machines to play. Have you heard of this?
Oh, I forget what it's like jackpot maxing or something. Like
Yeah.
when a slot has not paid long enough on the jackpot because the progressive jackpots, then all of a sudden you have technically a positive RTP as far as bet to jackpot. But I don't understand how they know how to calculate that RTP if we have no idea what the odds of like said jackpot is. Like online slots, you just look it up, what are the odds of the jackpot. You can find your exact RTP to jackpot. Whereas Vegas, I don't know if you can find that out. I've never hunted it down too hard because I just assume it's impossible to find. But it sounds like if you have a big enough bankroll, you can be a profitable slot player, and you have to be like really autistic. To
Yeah.
really crunch those.
Yeah, you got to be obsessed with it. Are you banned from any casinos out here?
No, I'm not sharp. I'm welcome with open arms. I'm usually asking the dealer what I do on most plays. I've never counted cards. I don't even know how to count cards because I'm here to have fun, dude. I'm here to. The only reason they wouldn't like me is because I get really drunk and I start yelling, not in a bad way, like in excitement or I'm just loud and whatever. So that's like sometimes annoying, but one of the least sharp. I tip well, not sharp. I and have a ton of money. Ideal customer actually for.
Yeah, you're their
casinos.
dream customer.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they treat me so good.
Have you gambled with Mickey Mace yet?
Man in
No.
post.
I
Just saw it.
no, yeah, I haven't.
What do you think that would end up in?
I mean, we're both. I don't know. I would see us winning.
Okay. Yeah, I never know with him. I hear mixed things, but he's cool.
Yeah.
He's been on the show a few times.
Oh yeah.
Heard some crazy stories.
Yeah, but he's a good storyteller. He talks about business, blackjack, baccarat. His skill is telling stories. He's an
100%.
incredible storyteller. I want to practice that. But a big problem I have run into is he's pretty sober these days. Somebody asked me on a podcast yesterday to describe what my biggest win ever felt like, but I didn't remember it. I was so inebriated that I didn't even know it happened until I watched the footage back. So I'm horrible at selling tours mostly because I don't remember a lot of things I do, which is why I stopped taking Xanax, is because a lot of the coolest shit I did over the last year, it's like, I saw it, I never lived it.
Xanax is a memory wiper. I used to take it too.
Yeah,
I can't take it.
it's it benefited my career in the sense that I could do like really crazy shit and be like, what is wrong with this kid? But in the sense of my well-being and just overall happiness, it's been the biggest setback. So I've cut that out entirely.
It destroys your emotions too.
Yeah,
Like that must have
100%.
fucked up your dating life and personal friendships too, right?
I guess I made it out with my friends. Like Liv's still here. I still got my core like 7 friends, but it's a horrible drug.
Yeah, fuck that one. That's the one I never recommend people to get on Xanax.
There's a lot of drugs that I do that I don't necessarily recommend that I do a lot and enjoy, but like really like ketamine, Percocet are also horrible. Like most drugs have as much fallout as they say. Like a lot of people are like, oh, that couldn't be me. It's not as bad as you can't imagine. But like the only one that I found has a genuine positive ROI are stimulants, but then I don't yet know the effect it's had on my heart. I'm getting an MRI soon on my heart to see exactly
That'd
what
be a
it
good
looks
video.
like. It's just because I'm curious and I want to like work towards being a healthier person. But every drug I've ever taken, positive ROI, I would say cocaine and alcohol. Everything else is kind of
Negative. What about mushrooms?
I don't get. Everyone's like, it gives me a spiritual awakening and like they're natural and it makes you smarter or whatever, like reconnects shit in your brain. I just get high as shit and then the next day, like it's the same as acid for me. I'm just tripping balls and then I wake up the next day. And when I was doing a lot of acid, I'm very anti-psychedelic because when I was doing a lot of acid, I thought I had the third eye. I thought I was so smart. I thought I was better than everyone. I'm awakened. I know the keys to the universe. I was a crazy person. And you look at any person, you logically look at any person that does a lot of psychedelics, they're crazy. None of this is reality. That doesn't even make fucking sense. I guess as long as they're happy, they're happy. But I think psychedelics are the worst drug as far as being successful in the real world. In your little imaginary dream world of mushrooms and acid, maybe you're having fun and happy, but your magic dream world isn't retiring your mother and isn't paying the bills. So I would say weed, acid, mushrooms, like I would never recommend. It seems like a lot of successful people recommend mushrooms, so clearly my opinion might be wrong on the mushrooms.
Well, they recommend microdosing it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, there's a difference. Like you're talking about full trips. Yeah, I've seen acid fuck people up for life.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even
Horrible.
kidding.
Yeah,
Like they're
it's-
never the same.
I feel this is interesting. acid is meant for children, and this is a very genuine thought that I have. Adults taking acid, it doesn't interact with your brain the same as it does. Did you ever take acid as like a kid? Like
Teenager, if
14,
you
15
consider
years
that.
old?
It was like 18, 19.
I would say the ages 14 to 17, there's something very special where acid interacts with the brain very positively. But as an adult, it just is a negative, I would say a negative ROI. But as a kid, obviously I'm not gonna tell my kid to do acid, but I think it's a genuinely beneficial experience as a kid, just how it interacts with the youthful brain. But as an adult, it's just unproductive.
Well, I just feel like at those ages, there's no stress. So like I could
Yeah.
smoke weed every day at those ages
Yeah.
and not have a panic attack. If I smoke weed right now,
Yeah.
I'm collapsing on the floor. Like,
And then it's, oh my God, weed makes me so paranoid. And then you have so much shit you got to do, but you can't think straight to do it. It makes you lazy, makes you happy not doing anything. And then the next day, you're like, I just jacked off 4 times, watched Rick and Morty, and ate like 10,000 calories. So weed, I think it's deceivingly enjoyable because you can take it every day and still do just enough to get by. And a lot of people think it makes you more creative. But that's just because they're not willing to do nothing. Like, in order to spark creativity, you need to spend time with your thoughts. And you need to just like stare at, I'm looking at this thing a lot, and it's very, like, you just need to stare and let yourself think. A lot of people wouldn't be willing to stare at that rock for 5 minutes unless they're baked as shit. So it forces them into a state of meditation, so they think they're being more creative, but really what's happening is you're being forced into a subpar state of meditation, which is a higher level of thinking than no meditation. But the best meditation is obviously sober thinking.
yeah, absolutely. Man, anything else you want to close off with? That was fun.
Let me think. No, dude, thank you so much for having me on. That was
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Austin here, or Luna. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, or morning. I don't know. But today's story time, I think it's a pretty good one. It's you know, it's pretty crazy. I got in a little bit of trouble in this story, and I thought you would enjoy hearing about it. So if you do, leave a like on the video. Before we get into it, I just dropped a new song. It's called The Mom One. You should go check it out. But anyway, yeah, let's get into today's story time. So today's story is about the time that I vandalized my teacher's car. Now, when I use the word vandalized, maybe that's not the right word to use. I think it is vandalization, but maybe I should say when I assaulted my teacher's car. I don't know. Either way, don't do this, okay? Before I get into it, don't be like me back then. Bad idea. Learn from my mistakes. But anyway, today's story time all starts off as a regular day, back when I was 14. Now, at 14, I didn't have a lot of problems in my life. I mean, most of the things I was doing every day was just, you know, school and video games. I wasn't doing a whole lot. Now, in school, at the time, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy getting up in the morning and, you know, being sleep deprived every day. That part wasn't fun. But, you know, it wasn't that bad. Except for one thing. There was one person at my school who I didn't like very much. And we'll just call him Mr. Evil, okay? Mr. Evil was a dickhead. There's nothing else I could say about it other than he was a dickhead. He had it out for me. Now, the reason he had it out for me is because back in the day, he knew my mom. I think they, like, dated for, like, a week or something, and he just didn't like me because I was her son, and I think he was mad that my mom dumped him. So, every day in school, when I'd have to go to his class, he was just evil. So he taught social studies, I believe, or history, whatever you want to call it. And it was just always the same shit every day. I'd go in, I'd mind my business, I'd be quiet, but he would choose to just solo me out and be a dick. He would purposely call on me for almost every single answer he needed, and I would get it wrong. And when I would get it wrong, he would like smirk and like laugh at me essentially. He would always give me a hard time about going to the bathroom as well. Like 9 times out of 10, if I would ask him to go to the bathroom, he would say no, which is crazy to me because it's like, dude, I will shit on your floor. Don't play with me. But yeah, he just wasn't a nice guy, and I think he kind of had it out for me a little bit. And for the most part, I dealt with it. I just kind of, you know, kept my head down and kept pushing through and didn't focus on it too much. Even though it really pissed me off, I didn't let it get in my way too much, right? Well, one day, I come into school, and on this day, I had my social studies class first period. So I go to his class, Mr. Evil. I sit down in the back of the room like I usually would because we didn't have assigned seats. We just sit wherever. So I sat in the back. And Mr. Evil looks up from his desk and he sees me sitting there and he goes, Austin, you can't sit there. You gotta move today. I was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, you're not paying attention to my class. You're not doing well. And it's because you're sitting so far back and you're just, you know, slacking. Now I can say this with 100% certainty. The positioning of where I was sitting had nothing to do with me not doing well in his class. It had a lot to do though with the fact that he hated me and wanted to see me fail and would essentially like make a joke of me answering the questions wrong, which made me not want to answer questions and not want to participate at all. He was just like a mean dude. So of course I wasn't gonna give him my full attention. I didn't want to. It's hard to put your focus on somebody that's fucking mean. Like if someone's mean to you, of course you're not gonna want to pay attention to them. So I just kind of like questioned it. I was like, I don't think I should move. It's not gonna change anything. And he's like, you don't know that. I do. I'm like, how do you know that I'm gonna be better in school if you move me? And he was like, trust me, I've dealt with this before. Move to the front. So I get up, I grab my stuff, I go to the front, I sit down. I'm in a very upset mood. I was not happy about this, but whatever, right? So class starts like any other class. He's talking, he's reading out of his textbook, he's teaching the class, right? And all of a sudden, in my pocket, I start feeling my phone going off like crazy. I just keep feeling it vibrate and vibrate and vibrate, and I just keep getting notifications, right? And usually I would ignore them if I'm in class, but the fact that my phone kept going off and off and off, like it clearly was an emergency. I figured my mom was calling me or texting me, so I just slipped my phone out of my pocket a little bit to see the screen, and I see a text message from one of my best friends at the time. We'll just call him Charlie. Charlie texted me, and it was like, Austin, please answer. Austin, please answer. I need you, bro. I need you. So I grab my phone, and I quickly open the messages, and I see like 15 messages, all from Charlie. And the first one said that his mom was in the hospital sick. So I can't remember the exact disorder or disease or whatever it was that she was diagnosed with, but she got this like rare autoimmune thing, and it put her in the hospital, and she was like on the verge of dying on this day. They had like just discovered it. She had no idea she had it until it was like essentially in late stages, and it was bad. So she was in the hospital sick, and he was freaking out and needed like a friend to talk to. And one of his other messages was, I'm in the hospital right now, in the waiting room, I'm freaking out, man, I don't want to lose my mom. And like, he was in just total stress, right? So naturally, I'm gonna be there for my friend, because that's what good friends do. So I stood up, I walked up to the front, and I asked my teacher nicely, Mr. Evil, hey, can you please use the bathroom? I need to make a phone call, it's an emergency. And he goes, the bathroom's for the bathroom, not phone calls. And I was like, I understand that, but like, this is actually an emergency. This person needs to speak with me. I will make it fast. I just need to make sure they're okay. And he goes, is it your mother? And I was like, nope, it's not my mom. And he goes, well, if it's not related to your mother or your father, I'm sorry, but no. And I was like, okay, it's not my mom or my dad, but like, it's someone important to me and they need me. So I'm gonna go make this phone call whether you like it or not. Because at this point, I was pissed. I was like, I'm not letting this fucking dude, like, keep me from talking to one of my best friends who's clearly in a horrible situation and needs somebody. So my teacher, like, got mad at me. He was like, are you threatening me? Are you threatening to leave my class right now? Because if you do that, I promise it'll be a big mistake. And I go, I don't care. I'm going to make this phone call. You can either give me permission and let me go to that bathroom and make the phone call, or I'm just going to leave and I'm going to make the phone call myself and we can deal with it later. And he goes, you're not leaving. And I go, oh, I'm not? He goes, no, you're not. And I go, okay, check this shit out. I turned around, grabbed my bag, threw it on, and I start walking towards the door. And he proceeds to move in front of the door and block me. And I was like, please move. And he goes, no, have a seat right now or I'm giving you lunch detention. I was like, I don't care, I'll take the detention, please move. He goes, I'm not moving, get back to your seat now, Austin. And I go, okay, I guess we'll do it the hard way. So I turn around, I walked over to the emergency exit on the window, lifted the hatch, popped it open, and I hopped out the window. His classroom was on the first floor of the school, so it wasn't like a big drop or anything. I just crawled out the window, went out in the parking lot, and I made my phone call to my friend. I talked to Charlie for like 30, 45 minutes because I had no intentions of going back to class now because I had already jumped out the fucking window and I was outside of the school. So my plan was just talk to Charlie for the rest of that period, and then when the period was over, I'd go back into school and deal with the consequences, right? So while I was talking to Charlie on the phone, I was very happy I called him because he was clearly in a shit ton of like just anxiety and like pain and stress, and I felt so bad for him, man. Like, nobody wants to see their parents sick. That's, you know, she was very sick. And I kept telling him, like, dude, like, I know your mom. She's a strong lady. Like, she'll push through. I know she will. And luckily, I was right. She got to the hospital in like a very perfect amount of time, and they were able to diagnose it and treat it. And within like a few weeks, she was back on her feet and was okay. And you know, she still had the disorder, but she was able to like medicate it or something. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know the disease itself. It's been so long. But I remember it was very serious. But she was okay. She lived. She didn't die like, you know, he thought she was gonna. And she was okay. Anyway, back to the story. So after I talked to Charlie for like 40, 45 minutes, whatever, I told Charlie, like, yo, the bell's about to ring. Like, my next class is going to be soon. I'm going to have to go back into school. If you need anything, bro, just text me, call me. Like, I'll go to the bathroom and I'll talk to you. He's like, I appreciate you, man, for real. Like, you don't have to call me. I really appreciate you doing that. I was like, of course, dude. So after I hung up with him, I went back into school. I went into my next period class. I sat down. And like 5 minutes into class starting, the school security comes into my classroom and goes, Austin, can you come with us? And I got escorted out of the classroom to the main office. And I sit down in the main office. My principal's there. And at the time, I had like a different principal. Like my main principal had to like leave for something. So I had this new principal for like 3 months. It was this woman. And she was kind of mean, but, you know, I figured she'd understand if I told her the situation. So she asked me, she goes, Austin, like, I'm sure you know why I called you up here. I just want to know, why'd you leave your class? Why'd you walk out? Why'd you climb out the window? Like, you're supposed to stay in the school building. You're not supposed to climb out windows. Like, that's not okay. And I told her, I was like, listen, I was trying to go to the bathroom to make an emergency phone call. He would not let me leave. I had to make this phone call. I had to do it. So I left out the window because he was blocking the door. And she goes, what was going on? Why'd you have to make a phone call? And I told her the truth. I was like, my friend, who is a student of this school named Charlie, that you probably know. She's like, yeah, I know Charlie. I was like, his mother is sick in the hospital. And he was panicking, anxiety, freaking out about his mom's health. And he wanted to have a friend to talk to. So I stepped out to call him. And she was like, okay, like, did you tell the teacher that? I was like, I was trying to, but he told me if it wasn't related to my dad or my mom, that he wasn't going to let me make the call. So, yeah. Now, surprisingly, my principal was actually pretty cool about it. You know, I told her the truth. I told her what happened. And she was actually kind of on my side about it. She was like, listen, I don't think you're in the wrong for wanting to be a good friend or calling your friend. I just think maybe you should have approached it a little bit differently. Like, you know, maybe next time tell them to send you to the main office and you can talk to me about it and I'll let you make your call instead of just jumping out the window like that. Because obviously we want you safe. We want you in school. We don't want you just jumping out the window and walking around outside like that. And I was like, I understand. And she was really cool about it. However, because I jumped out the window and I skipped class, they still had to punish me for it because you're not supposed to do that. She's like, unfortunately, like, because you skipped class and you jumped out the window like that, we got to give you some form of punishment. So she gave me a lunch detention with her, which honestly wasn't that big of a deal to me because I was probably going to get lunch detention with him if I didn't. So that is better to me. I'd rather eat lunch with my principal, who was clearly a lot nicer than Mr. Evil, than to have to eat lunch with that dickhead. So I said, okay. And I told her I would see her for lunch on that day. So fast forward to lunchtime, I had my lunch detention with her. It was actually kind of nice. We just like talked about life and stuff. It was kind of cool. She was asking me about like what I wanted to do when I grew up, and she was telling me about all the career paths she was trying to do before she became a principal. And she actually had a much different opinion than what most people in school back then would tell me. Like usually when I would talk to a teacher back then or a principal or whatever, and they were asking about like what I wanted to do when I grew up, if I didn't have a clear-cut answer, they'd be like, well, you have to figure that out. Like, you know, you need to know what you want to do. This lady, this principal, was actually a lot different. So she asked me like what I wanted to do when I grew up. I told her like I wasn't too sure. And instead of having that reaction of like, oh, well, you need to figure that out, she was like, oh, well, like, what are some things you're into? And I told her like all the things I would maybe want to do. And I don't know, it was just a nice talk, right? Anyway, fast forward to the end of the school day. So after lunch, I do the rest of my classes, the school day ends, and I am walking out of school with my friends to my bus. And while I'm walking out of school towards my bus and I'm outside, like I had just gotten outside the school, I feel a finger tap me on the shoulder. And I turn around, and it's none other than my social studies teacher, Mr. Evil. And he's looking very upset with me. And he goes, Austin, what happened today in my classroom can never happen again. And I think you owe me and the students an apology for embarrassing us. I was like, embarrassing you guys? How did I embarrass the students? He's like, well, they're trying to learn, and they're trying to better their life. And I know you might not care about doing that, but they do, and you distracted them. And I was like, okay, so that would mean I distracted them, not embarrassed them. Two very different words with two very different meanings, Mr. Evil. So maybe you should like read a fucking dictionary or something. Guys, at this point, I just did not give a shit. I was being very disrespectful. I was just done with it, man. I just wanted to go home and play video games and just chill. And this guy was bringing up stuff that I thought was over, right? Not saying it was right of me to be disrespectful to him, but like, I wanted it to be done. I was very upset. Anyway, after I told him to read a fucking dictionary, he got very upset. And he was very angry looking. And he was like, I can bring you up to that main office right now, and you can have another lunch detention and a real detention this time. How's that sound? And I was like, nah, school's over. I'm going home. Bye. And I turn around and I start walking towards my bus. And he goes, you're just like your mom. And I turn around and I look at him and I was like, what is that supposed to mean? And this dude goes, stupid and stubborn. Now, naturally, I get furious because he called my mother stupid. And I don't think a teacher should call anyone's mother stupid. So I was like, you should probably apologize for saying that. And he's like, why would I? It's true. So when he doubled down like that, I decided, okay, it's time to make a mistake. So I reached down, I picked up a rock, and I really wanted to throw the rock at him, but that'd be really bad. So I turned around, I walked over to the parking lot where his car was, and I launched that fucking rock so hard, right through his windshield. I knew exactly what car was his because I saw him driving to work every fucking day with it. So yeah, I threw a rock through his windshield because I didn't like that he called my mom stupid and then doubled down on it. So I threw a rock through his windshield. Is it right? No. Should I have done it? No. Did it feel good in the moment? A little bit. Anyway, he's freaking out. He's yelling at me. He's telling me that I'm a delinquent, that I'm going to go to jail for this. He called me a piece of trash. I'm yelling back like, I don't care. Cry about it. Fuck you. You disrespect me. I disrespect you. It goes both ways. And there's a whole little like crowd forming around us now with like students and shit because two people are yelling at each other and there's glass all over and the windshield's broken. And they also heard the rock go through the windshield. So anyway, after like 2 minutes of arguing with this teacher, I was like, you know what? This has been fun, but I gotta go. So I ran away. I ran into the crowd and then I ran into the bus line where the buses were and I jumped on my bus and I put my head down so they couldn't see me in the window and I put my music on and I took off. Yeah, my bus was leaving like any minute anyway because, you know, I had been like taking forever to get on it. I was the last person on. So yeah, I got on it at perfect time. I got on and they left. So after my bus left and I was on it and we were riding, you know, making our stops, dropping off students, I fully expected to get a phone call. I really thought the school would call me or like my mom or the police or someone, right? But surprisingly, my bus ride home was very peaceful. No one called me. No one texted me. Yeah, very peaceful. And that was until I got home. I got home to my mom at the table waiting for me. I sat down and she was like, Austin, what did you do to your teacher's car? And I was like, well, before you get mad, do you know why I did it? And she goes, no, please enlighten me. And I was like, well, he was being mean to me all day. He was being very rude. He wasn't letting me call my friend who had an emergency. And then he called you stupid. And I didn't like that. So I threw a rock through his windshield. And she's like, what do you mean he called me stupid? What are you talking about? And I was like, yeah, we were arguing. And he said I owed him an apology and all this stuff. And I told him I was going to leave. And when I did, he said that I was just like you, stupid and stubborn. And when I told him that he should probably apologize for that, he doubled down. So I threw a rock through his windshield. And she was like, Austin, while I appreciate you caring about me and what people say, it doesn't give you the right to vandalize someone's car. You can't do that. You can't just do that. And I was like, yeah, I know. I know it was wrong. I know. And she's like, yeah, it was very wrong. The school called me. You're suspended. You're out for a week. They're moving you out of his class. Like, you're getting in trouble. And I can't lie, guys. At the time, that shit was music to my ears. I had a week off school, and I never had to fucking see that dumbass again. Well, I guess I'd see him again, but I wouldn't have his class again. Like, that sounded amazing to me. And I remember when she said it, like, I kind of smiled. And she's like, Austin, what's funny about this? I'm like, no, it's not like a funny smile. It's like I'm happy. Like, I don't have to see him anymore. And she's like, I know you didn't like him, but, like, there was better ways to go about this. You could have told me, and, like, I could have gotten you moved. Like, you busted his windshield, and, like, I'm going to have to pay for that, by the way. which I felt bad about that part. That wasn't good. I'm not sure what ended up happening in the end with that. I'm not sure if his insurance covered it. Like, my mom had to, like, have her insurance go up over that. Like, I don't know if it counted as, like, an accident. I don't know if she paid for it out of pocket. I never really asked about it. But, yeah, that part sucked to hear. Anyway, I ended up getting not just suspended for a week, but my mom took my Xbox away and my PC and shit because I threw a rock through a teacher's windshield, even though my mom didn't like that teacher either. She had to punish me. So yeah, I got my shit taken for a week. So yeah, I ended up spending the week just kind of like chilling, watching TV, hanging out at home, just like cleaning up the house and stuff. And then when I went back to school, my first day back was very, very like interesting. Because I remember I was at my locker in the morning and I was like just getting my books out and I saw Mr. Evil walk by me and he looked at me and he gave me this like super dirty look of like, I hate you and I hope you know it. But honestly, man, I was just so happy that I didn't have his class anymore. I just smiled back at him. And honestly, I think that made